to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is Brock Heward. If you're retired or retiring soon and concerned about the future, call Tila Mortgage today to find out the benefits of a reverse mortgage. Tila's been locally owned and trusted right here in the Seattle Metro for over 25 years. Just ask yourself, do I settle for a retirement that just gets me by? I say no. Tila will see if you can retire more comfortably with a home equity conversion mortgage. They can help you refinance your current mortgage and convert a portion of your home's equity into a line of credit, providing benefits like no monthly mortgage payments or cash back to pay off bills, do home improvement projects, or build up a cash reserve for safety and peace of mind. Plus, you get to keep your home. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILA-mortgage.com.
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 24720446.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Michael Jarrell remains an option to start against the Bills Sunday.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, you guys, happy Thursday. We are going to spend a lot of today previewing Seahawks Bills, but that especially is going to be at noon. Boye Mafe is going to join us. A little bit after that, Christian Haynes is going to join us. Dave Wyman is going to be with us for those 2 hours from noon to 2 to preview Week 8. I can't believe we're already here. I would say halfway through the season, but that's not mathematically possible.
Just do it.
It's not possible
halfway
anymore.
through.
Can I say something so unrelated to what we're going to do today, which is what I did yesterday?
Sure.
Okay, so what would you classify as one of the most annoying sounds?
One of the most annoying sounds, a baby crying.
Oh, well, yeah. Nothing tops that. Curtis, do you have another one?
Like nails on a chalkboard.
Okay, both of those are horrible. I promise that you won't hear these. But I recorded with Jackson Bevins, who hosts the Cigar Thoughts podcast, and I'm recording the podcast in an office that I don't normally work in. It's like a room that's just unused in our house. And the alarm, the smoke detector just has a little beep, and that's when you know. You know.
Yep.
So then I think, well, then there's nothing for a long while, and I go, okay, well, this is probably fine. So the interview starts, and about 5 minutes
Why'd you think it was going to be fine?
Because it beep, beep, and then it just didn't do anything for a while, and I thought, okay, well, maybe it goes off like once every 10 minutes. They can edit it out, like it's not going to be a problem. I swear to God, for an hour-long interview, every 2 minutes. It's a really great interview.
For an hour?
It's kind of like vaguely in the background.
Dang,
I was way more aware of it than I think anyone else, but I did see a couple of people commenting going, I kept thinking this was in my own house. Someone was like, I was walking around like, did I just make a noise? And so if anyone's listening, my deepest apologies for my smoke detector.
Man.
It is not, in fact, in your head or in your own house. It is just one of my now least favorite sounds on the planet.
Did you get it fixed?
No, I didn't. Are you kidding me? No. Are you insane?
Do you have
I
9-volt batteries laying around your house?
Yeah. Has literally anyone ever changed the battery in their smoke detector?
I mean,
I don't think that's ever happened.
That's a very important thing.
There's so many in the house. If that one doesn't work and it's being a little obnoxious right now about not having a battery, we've got like a million other smoke detectors in the house.
But what if the fire's in that room?
What if it starts in that room?
Yeah.
I don't think it would. I mean, if it does, here's the thing. If it does, there's another smoke detector quite literally 4 feet away on the ceiling in the hallway right outside the door.
Okay. You like your chances.
Yeah, I can't reach it. I don't want to change it. I've never changed a battery in a smoke detector. I'm not sure kind of
There's
what
probably
that
some
process
fire
is
marshal
like.
listening to this show right now
Who's so mad at me.
So
I want to
mad,
encourage
yeah.
everyone to make sure you have operating smoke detectors in your home, especially ahead of the holidays. Like, this is just a PSA that I'm going to send out. I'm also going to say that I tried to open it up and it wouldn't open, so I just pressed the middle button. I thought that would do something. And I left it alone. I've decided, though, that is now, behind the sound of a baby crying and nails on a chalkboard, my least favorite sound on the planet. So.
You might be invited to the cookout.
I'm not going to
You just might be invited to the cookout.
Oh, God. All right, let's talk about Bills Seahawks. I think if they had not, the Seahawks, beat Atlanta, we'd be heading into this game with people feeling pretty hopeless. Even then, if they had lost to the Falcons, I would say don't feel hopeless. I know you look at Josh Allen, you look at 12 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's having a great year. The Bills are a pretty balanced offense. They are an imperfect team. I mean, I know we see them as one of these power clubs in the AFC, but Bump, you've been looking at numbers. I've got a little bit of sound here too. There are things the Bills do well, very well. There's also things they don't do well.
They take care of the football. Josh Allen has done a great job of doing exactly that. On paper, as the kids would say, they look pretty mid, offensively and defensively. Offense 18th overall. When it comes to scoring points, you got, 28 points per game. That's where they shine. It's crazy where you look at their numbers passing and then running the football. But when it comes to scoring, they do that. They're 5th in the league. Defensively, they're 20th overall. They are 20th against the run, 17th against the pass. They don't apply too much pressure, but I think the thing that we lean on when it comes to the Bills is just the history of them, who we perceive them to be over the past 4 or 5 years because of what Josh Allen can do, what McDermott can do, what that defense has done. So I think this is a game where we're probably not going to see DK. Nothing's 100% yet. Yeah. I think he was limited in practice the other day, or going to be limited today, rumors or whatnot. If DK is not there, you have to start the game like you have the past couple of games, leaning on the run and trying to get that going. And if you are able to do that, that will make life easier for Gino, obviously, and then the receivers that will be relied upon. We're waiting on JSN to have a big game. We're waiting on Tyler Lockett to have his big game. We've seen Noah Fant be consistent throughout the year. So when it comes to the Bills, I say run, run, run. And I think a lot of people want to see that anyway, because when Gino throws the ball less than 30 times, they've had some success. When he goes around 35, 40, even 50 times, it gets hard because you become one-dimensional. So they are a team that is trying to figure themselves out as well. This is going to be a big game for the Seahawks.
Let's take a listen to a little bit of sound here. This is kind of from a Buffalo point of view. Dan Orlovsky, cut number 5, talking about how the Bills should attack Seattle's defense.
There's a couple things about Seattle's defense that you got to do to have success against it. Okay, number 1, you got to win at the line of scrimmage. Hawk, this plays perfectly for your tape. They put hands on you at the line of scrimmage. Their defensive backs are very physical. It's not old school Seattle, but it's not that far from that. And it throws off a lot of your timing, rhythm, and your passing. You got to fight for flags like Drake London. And number 2, then you got to expect zone coverage no matter what. As a quarterback, you're sitting there going, okay, double A gap mug, safety in middle of field, nickel over the top. I got man coverage. No, you don't. Expect zone. It looks like Kirk Cousins is expecting an easy throw against man coverage and the zone dropout. Third thing, do not throw the ball to the boundary that much. That's where we're going is you better work the space or the air that is left of the field. It's not a defense that clouds the field. that much. I think if the Bills can do that and Josh's arm is capable of doing that, I think you got to be aggressive against Seattle's defense, though. I think Atlanta made the massive mistake of trying to run the ball. Dude, you got to be aggressive and try to throw the ball downfield and create chunks against the secondary, specifically with a strong-armed quarterback to the field.
All right, what do you hear there? Is it solid advice against this defense?
I mean, Dan did a great job of describing what the Hawks want to do, right? Double A gap that thing. They're going to show you coverages that looks like it's man, but it's really zone. Expect zone. Yeah, he's giving the scouting report for the Seattle Seahawks defense, and I think he's pretty accurate. So I want to see what is Dirty's not calling the plays. What Dirty and McDonald are going to do together to try to confuse Josh Allen, because no one has been able to do that so far because he has not turned the football over. I think I heard a quote. I was watching or listening to the radio this morning, and Josh Allen said he hasn't thrown any interceptions, but he really has. They just haven't been picked off yet. So meaning that he's made some questionable decisions. They just haven't been able to take care of them, take advantage of that situation. So Hawks, take advantage of that situation and do your best to try to confuse Josh Allen and this offensive line. That's what you do, or how you try to attack a quarterback that has been very responsible with the football. Different looks, different stunts, get after him, force him to toss it up.
That was Dan Orlovsky talking about how the Bills' offense should attack Seattle's defense. Cut number 6, this is Devin McCourty talking about what Buffalo's defense needs to do against the Seahawks' offense.
The one thing with Gino Smith in that offense is how many times are you going to guard DK Metcalf one-on-one? You have to be able to get home with just 4 rushers. In the Giants game, they were able to do that. And they also were able to change the picture after the snap. They played a ton of zone in that game. But for Gino Smith, he didn't know what he was going to get until the ball was snapped. So I look at this for Buffalo. They're a team that plays with those 2 high safeties. McDermott loves to disguise and move those guys around. For Gino, is he going to be able to diagnose it after the snap? And for A.J. Epineza, for Greg Rousseau, can they get home and get in Gino's face and not allow him that time that he had this past week of throwing the ball deep down the field to DK Metcalf, whether he's catching the ball or he's forcing a penalty, is big yards for Seattle.
A.J. Epineza has 4 sacks this year. He's their leader in sacks for the Buffalo Bills. This defense, you already talked about a lot of these stats, kind of struggling against the run. In what ways could they challenge Seattle?
First, I want to say, Dave Wyman, if you're listening, you might be listening. McCourty just said guard DK Metcalf. He said guard. Okay, I heard that, and I zoned in on it. I love you, Dave. You know, I just got to poke at you every now and then. He talks about this defense and how they do it's the same thing. They're essentially saying the same thing. Dan Orlovsky said, okay, you got to try to confuse Josh Allen. McCourty is saying you got to try to confuse Gino Smith because the Giants did that. The Giants did a good job of showing man, body language is man, my eyes are on the wide receiver, and then boom, getting out of it and dropping into a zone and having the quarterback have a pre-snap read, an in-snap read, and then believing in what he's seeing. It all sounds the same. And you know why it sounds the same? Because you're dealing with 2 responsible quarterbacks. Gino, I know you look at the interceptions and say, what do you mean he's responsible? He throws interceptions. 2 are his. You're looking at Josh Allen. He doesn't throw interceptions. Name of the game is when you have 2 quarterbacks who are efficient is to try to confuse them. Also, I heard McCourty say, you got to put some pressure on Gino. He must not be watching film. Gino played with pressure every single game. That pocket is collapsing on him. He's rolling outside the pocket. I mean, I understand the idea of putting pressure on Gino, but that's the way that he lives. That's the way he lives on this team. He has pressure all the time. So both sides are saying make the quarterbacks cough the ball up, essentially.
That's a really good point, too, because I don't think a lot of people are watching Gino that closely, which, you have your teams. Even NFL analysts have their teams that they're paying a little closer attention to. And why would anyone have started the season paying really close attention to the Seattle Seahawks when they were not expected to be contenders? But you're so right. Gino has responded pretty well to pressure. In fact, if this offense was more balanced, if they could get the run game going, it would be by far the best part of this team. I do like having the defensive line healthier, though, and I feel far more optimistic with Leonard Williams, Dre Jones, and Byron Murphy out there against the Bills.
Yeah, it's like you got the band together. Everybody is healthy. Hopefully, knock on wood, continues to stay healthy, and they're executing. It's all about the O-line and the D-line. I encouraged people a couple weeks ago just to lock in on those matchups throughout the day, and I encourage you to do the same because it sounds like You're going to have a rookie out there, maybe a couple rookies with Christian Haynes and Michael Jarrell on the right side, and they're going to make their mistakes, but they also have so much potential. If they can put another good game together, the Hawks might have tapped into something and say, let's ride it out with these young guys for the duration of the season, or at least until Abe Lucas gets back.
I said that we would talk about what the Bills do and don't do well. We've kind of highlighted some of the things defensively that they've struggled with, or at least been vulnerable to. They're a good team. They're 5-2. Don't get me wrong. Let's talk about the things that they do well, though, because it's going to be a watch out for this moment for the Seahawks. We can start with Josh Allen. I mean, I mentioned that at the top, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That doesn't even do justice, though, to how he started the season.
No, it doesn't, man. Josh Allen brings something to the table that only a couple quarterbacks do at the rate that he does. We talk about mobile quarterbacks. There's one that is the most mobile. That is Lamar Jackson. But after that, it really is just Josh Allen. I mean, Jalen Hurts is in the mix too, but I would say Josh Allen is more mobile than he is. So he presents just a different challenge for these guys. And I'm interested to see how McDonald and Dirty decide to contain him, because the worst thing you can do with a mobile quarterback is get too far upfield. You got two young edge rushers. You got Boye Mafe on one side, Derek Hall on the other side. They're gonna get after the quarterback, and they smell it. They're eager to go get that quarterback. And sometimes you get too far upfield, then you allow these running lanes, those same lanes that Brock Purdy had against the Seahawks. He didn't break a 50-yard run, but he get just enough for a first down. So it's about discipline. I don't think sacks are great, but I think that if you are a bit too eager and you lose your discipline this week, it can create some big runs for Josh Allen. That's what you don't want.
I would take the Seahawks being completely average in sack totals as opposed to top 10, which they were last year, in exchange for more pressures and better run defense. 1,000%. 10 times out of 10. I'd be like, I know sacks get guys paid, so I can understand that. And I know it doesn't feel good that no Seahawks defenders had double-digit sacks since like 2018. But I'll take just solid run defense, average run defense, and good consistent pressure. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to running the rock, they're only averaging 116 yards per game. We can't talk because we're only averaging 97 yards per game. But it's not like they've had these monster performances on the ground. And last week, I think you built some confidence. You got your swag back a little bit in Atlanta. Let's see if you can continue to build off of that. There's always things that you can work on when you watch the film, and I'm sure they did exactly that. But there's also the good things that you watch and you highlight, and you try to kind of brainwash your defense and saying, look, we are good against the run. We just have to make sure that we're disciplined and doing the things that we're supposed to do to see if the party continues against these guys.
Look, if the Seahawks win, both them and the Bills are 5-3. I know that it's easy to see the Bills as just quite obviously the better team, but there are opportunities here for either team to walk away a winner. It's not just because it's any given Sunday in the NFL. It's because they have some complementary weaknesses, frankly, that can be exploited. So going to be a really, really interesting matchup Sunday. Again, we've got a 2-hour-long preview coming up at noon. Dave Wyman joining us. Don't miss Hawks Live tonight with Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer starting 7 p.m. This is a free event at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and preview of this week's game, plus a visit from rookie Michael Jarrell. He's got a big week. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Bellevue Square Center Court. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the 5-1 Vikings take on the 2-4 Rams tonight on Thursday Night Football. What's the real headline?
None of us ever thought we'd say Sam Darnold has no excuse to lose to the Rams. Like, who thought we'd be here?
Yeah, this is a weird place. It's a weird place that we're in, but this is reality though. We are not dreaming. 5-1 Vikings, 2-4 Rams. Rams seem like they are just trying to start all over. They're looking at 2025 right now, 2026, and seeing what they can do. But you got to finish this season. This is going to be a big game for the Vikings. You're 5-1. You're coming off your first loss. How are you going to bounce back and show everyone that you are for real? If they lose to the Rams, now you start questioning what's real and what's not over there with the Vikings. But that division is tough. They're a good football team. Sam is playing decent. You got weapons over there. Take care of the Rams, Sammy boy. Let's get it.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2, the Seahawks are opening Abe Lucas's 21-day practice window, but have placed Stone Forsythe on injured reserve. What's the real headline?
Maybe the best addition the Hawks make won't be from a trade. By that, I obviously mean the return of Abe Lucas.
Yeah, and before he returns, you're going to see some youngster out there, Michael Jarrell. It's important that he gets these reps and learns how to be a pro in this league. But there's nothing like having Abe back. Abe is the enforcer. He's the attitude, big body. You trust him. Him and Charles Cross on the other sides of the offensive line just brings a different type of confidence to this team. And I think it would with Gino, too. Gino has never once thrown his offensive line under the bus. Not one time. And they've had their good moments. I know we talk about them a lot, but they've had their good moments. But like everything else, is about being consistent. With Abe Lucas over there, he's not looking over his shoulder as much as he's been doing this year.
I'm also just desperate to get reinforcements for the offensive line for the run game as well. Like, obviously, with protecting Gino, it's hugely important. But, like, that offense opens up once you get the run going. It's not just because Gino's great with play action. It's because Ken Walker can be great as a pass catcher as well. I would love to see Ken Walker get more involved. And it's one of those things of, like, I want dessert. Have you had your dinner yet? Like, I want Ken Walker to get more involved. I want more runs called. Can you open up holes? Can you actually, get some push as an offensive line? So that's got to come first.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Devante Adams reportedly gave a fiery locker room speech on Sunday following the Jets' most recent loss to the Steelers. What's the real headline?
This seems like it would be an Aaron Rodgers job, but he only talks to Pat McAfee.
I heard this and I started laughing because some guys probably don't even know what Devante Adams sounds like. So he's in the middle. When you're in the locker room and you're having these talks and there's a guy in the middle and everyone is surrounding him, you don't have the greatest view sometimes of who's talking. So some guys probably like, hey, who is that? Who is that talking over there? And it was Devante Adams. But listen, he's been there 2 days. If it were anybody else, if it wasn't a future Hall of Famer, if it wasn't one of the best players in the game, you tell that dude, be quiet. What have you done for this team? So the fact that he's getting out in front of the team so early lets you know just how jacked up things must be over there with the Jets. To your point, that's Aaron Rodgers' job. You are the quarterback. You're about to turn 41 years old. You've been in the game for so long. You played a role in getting the coach fired. You have a new offensive coordinator. This is your franchise, believe it or not. So the fact that we haven't heard of Aaron Rodgers getting together and doing that it could be concerning, but maybe he has. Maybe we're just not hearing about it. But Devante, that lets you know it's rough over there in New York.
Well, so I'm going to abbreviate a little bit his answer because it's quite long, but he was asked why he felt compelled to stand up and say something. This is transcribed by Jets reporter Harrison Glazer. He said, "It's not really my personality to see something that's not right and just let it go, regardless of whether it's from coaches, players, management, support staff, whoever. Obviously, there was a lack of energy and urgency out there in the game, obviously. And it was apparent, especially coming from the fact I've played on teams that have a winning culture." He's not talking about the Raiders. He said, "I just wanted to take a minute to let him know." He did say he had reservations about speaking too early, but then thought, forget that. He said, "This team is so talented roster-wise. It's a waste to have everybody out there and have a dead sideline like that." So then he pointed out, like, if Brees catches a ball and goes 60 and we can't feed off that energy, that's a problem. He says those types of plays are supposed to be contagious for the rest of the team. That's basically what I saw. And what I told the team is, I'm not there to be a savior, but I'm here to help shift culture. And more than anything, I'm trying to enforce a winning mindset. I didn't think he overstepped a line. I think that being a veteran in the league, being someone who has been part of a winning culture, and frankly, the Jets are a very talented roster that are not a winning culture. They do not have a winning culture there, and they have almost never, with very few exceptions, had a winning culture there. It is not wrong for a veteran to come in and be like, look, you guys don't know what winning consistently looks and feels like, but I'm telling you that when your teammate makes an amazing play and no one on the sideline reacts, that's not a winning culture. Like, that's not energy.
It's just sad that he had to do it 4 days on the job.
Right?
You just got there. I understand it. You have the credentials, and when he speaks, everyone should listen. But 4 days on the job and you're already putting these speeches together, that's crazy. But he is right. The roster is way too talented. You look at what's on offense and what's on defense. It doesn't make sense that they're having their struggles, but then again, it does. Quarterback play has been hurting them. Aaron Rodgers needs to play better for them to have a chance. He is the most veteran seasoned guy on this team, and if he doesn't play well, Jets don't play well.
I've been shamed by dozens of people on the text line for not changing the batteries. I just want to say I've vaulted ceilings. I literally cannot reach the smoke detector.
Do you have a ladder or step stool?
No, I don't have a ladder.
Stacy.
Everyone's talking to me like I have all the resources they do. Then someone said the fire department can sometimes come out and change it for free. That is a service I would absolutely tap into.
That if you call the fire department and come change your smoke detector.
I mean, I guess I'm not going to buy a ladder.
What are we doing here?
But what do you do?
First world problems.
What do you do if you have vaulted ceilings and truly no way to reach?
You know
the
what? I need
smoke
y'all to
detector?
get on Stacy. Y'all talk about my shower bench. She's got vaulted ceilings. Just
That's
saying.
just the nature
Just
of.
saying.
But I live in a townhome.
Just saying.
It's not like a mansion. It's
Yeah,
just
sounds like
the
it.
structure of the home.
I'm gonna call the fire department to change.
360
the
says,
smoke
Stacy,
detector."
30-year firefighter here. Thank you very much. Amazing work. They say, you're killing me.
Yeah, man.
I
that
get
done.
it. I'm not encouraging people to not change them. I'm just saying I didn't realize that it was such a nuisance. It's now my least favorite sound, and I have no way to I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. What are we supposed to stand on each other's shoulders and try to like chipmunks and try to change this battery
Now you
situation?
figured it out. You're gonna call the fire department.
Yeah.
Do you at least have a fire extinguisher in your house?
I don't know the answer to that question.
No.
No, she don't.
I am not someone who's entirely prepared. I'm not a role model. Don't make me a role model for how to live your life and be safe and be like, do not look to me
Stacy, Bump and
for
I,
good examples of survival.
Bump and I, we are our dads, and we have our dad disappointment
That's
right
okay.
now in you.
So, as an example, there's a lot of dad energy in this building. I work in sports radio, so it's not surprising, including dad energy from non-dads. Kyle one time let me know that there was some kind of leak coming from my car. Again, very dad energy. Asked me if I did anything. No, I didn't.
Nah.
I was like, thanks, Kyle. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, I think I just stress you guys out on the regular.
It's all right.
But, you know, don't make me a role model. That's all. When I die, just tell your friends, I told you so.
I told you so.
That's all. All right, you guys. We are not thinking DK is going to suit up on Sunday. It would be great if he did, but we're going to act as though he's not going to. So we're going to tell you exactly what that means for the Seahawks offense and which other pass catcher has a chance for a huge day. That's coming up next.
It's Hall down the far sideline. He's going to score. Derek Hall on the sack by Boye Mafe.
After a win on the road, the division-leading Seahawks are ready for action.
Jackson Smith and Jigba now makes the catch, stops, going to throw deep down the far side. DK, what a catch!
This Sunday, the Hawks host Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at Lumen Field.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III.
Kickoff 105. Pre-game coverage starting at 10 on your home for the Hawks, Seattle Sports.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Summer's over and you've had your fun, but now it's time to get back on track. Stop feeling frustrated and overwhelmed and start being excited about the new you that's possible. We want to be your teammate. No gimmicks, no tricks, no drugs. Just teaching you how to turn your body into a fat-burning machine and keep it off for the long term. We know the secret for fast and lasting weight loss using real healthy foods and lifestyle strategies designed to reset your metabolism. Schedule your free consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
There's a lot of things I love about this Eastside Weight Loss Clinic program, and it's not just the 35 pounds that I lost in 8 weeks. That was big, but it's keeping it off. It's the sustainability, and this program does it better than anyone else.
Our program has successfully helped thousands of people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. You can start our program in person in Kirkland or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation today by calling 425-588-0080 or eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget, not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps, or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply. Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks Insider, brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. Now here's Maura Dooley.
Turnovers have been an issue for Bills quarterback Josh Allen, with only one season where he hasn't thrown double-digit interceptions. But he's been impressive in that area this season with 0 picks so far. Daniel Jeremiah told Brock and Salk during his weekly segment Wednesday that doesn't mean there won't be opportunities for the Seahawks to create turnovers Sunday.
Well, I will say, if you go through his stuff, and I think they talked about this on the broadcast the other night, that he does have a couple turnover-worthy throws where he's gotten away with it a little bit, so he's had a little bit of turnover luck there. But I also think there's always been the 2 versions of Josh Allen, and there's the one that is taking what's there and making the game easy, and then there's the one who's trying to make things happen that aren't there, and that's when you get some of the recklessness.
The Seahawks Insider is brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. For the latest on the Seahawks anytime, go to seattlesports.com.
For many of us, it's happening. Your hair is thinning. Your crown is disappearing. Hair loss had me feeling like I was losing my identity altogether. Well, I've got some good news. It's a simple one-day treatment that worked for me. The Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. It starts growing new hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly memberships. Those can help retain what you have. But what if you want your own natural hair in specific areas like I did? You decide how much, how thick, and where. From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to the world-class leading doctors like Dr. Parango, it's not a maybe your hair will grow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 425-449-8185. Advanced Hair is the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and they are the team that I personally recommend. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's sounding more and more like DK Metcalf will not. Why are you laughing?
People on the text lines, man, your insurance requires you change your batteries every 6 months. They are on your head right now.
Well, you know why? Because people are very self-righteous, first of all. Not many people are. There are people that are texting in being like, hey, you really should change it. It's safe. And then there are people that just want participation trophies for being like, I changed mine. Like, I didn't ask you if you changed yours. I didn't ask you about your smoke detector.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it was just, I did not know that the battery was out. Then I taped a podcast, Cigar Thoughts, and it was just beeping in the background. And I didn't have, it's also that thing of, I should have interrupted the interview and been like, let me go change into a different room where this isn't going to be. But I was like too polite.
You're locked in.
I was locked in, and I was like, maybe it won't be so bad. Like, maybe they won't hear it. And then this morning, I just had every person going, I've been searching for batteries in my kitchen because I thought my smoke detector was beeping. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's awesome. I love it.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, people are, they have just fully on me for that. Okay. This is cut number 1, the latest from Mike McDonald on DK Metcalf.
Is there any more of an update on DK and what his situation would be this week? Or?
No, I just, you know him. He's doing all the things. He's not going to practice today. Probably won't practice tomorrow. Right now, we'll see on Friday, kind of reevaluate as we go.
Okay, so DK won't practice today. We'll see about Friday. Because he's week to week, I'm going to be honest. I don't think DK suits up on Sunday. You don't think DK suits up on Sunday. If he does, fantastic. All the better for this offense, but let's assume that he doesn't, okay? Let's talk about what the Seahawks offense will actually look like without him. You've got a couple numbers you've been digging into, and then we'll talk about what it could mean for a few other pass catchers. So first, what does the offense look like without DK?
You lose explosiveness. DK has the most catches this year over 20 yards. He's got 11 of them things. That's first in the NFL when it comes to explosive plays. That is DK. So you lose that threat down the field. You can still operate. It's not like one player determines how good or how bad an offense goes. It's a team sport. It will look different. I talked about that stretching the field. Who's going to be that guy to stretch the field? Sometimes just running a go route. You know you're not going to get this football, or running a post. You know you're not going to get it. The coverage dictates that. But what it does, it opens up passing lanes. Someone's going to have to do that. But I think that you can still be effective. You have JSN, you have Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett is one of the best deep cross runners I've seen in the game. He understands where the space is, how to fill it. If there is a player that's on his hip, he hits the brakes, creates space. He knows how to do that. I think JSN is great at he can run the deep crosses as well, but he's more of an intermediate going across the field, the dig routes, the sits, the post curls, coming back to the football. You can still be explosive. And you got Ken Walker coming out the backfield. We saw him catch a touchdown last week on a little wheel route out the backfield over the top. You're just going to lose that potential 70-yard touchdown that is out there whenever number 14 is on the field. But it just forces Grubb to call a slightly different game. Every receiver has to be able to run 40, 50 yards down the field and hold safeties. But how many do that in our legit threats? Each team tries to have at least one of those guys on the football field or on their roster at all times. DK is that guy. So you lose that. But I think the intermediate, the crossing routes, the quick game is going to be enhanced a bit. And then, because Noah Fant's been playing so well as of late, maybe he steps up and has a bigger role.
From the 509, if DK learned anything from Russell Wilson, it's that you still suit up on Sunday even if you're hurt. If you can't play, you're not suiting up.
Man, go ahead and be comfortable.
No. 360, all caps, multiple exclamation points. Bobo! A lot of people calling for Jake Bobo, I think because A, his name is fun to say, and B, he is a big target. Is he someone you're looking at as like, okay, this is a guy who has a chance to take off, or is there another pass catcher that you think could have a very big day? I'm also saying this for fantasy football purposes.
Naturally, you expect Bobo to be the guy. 123 snaps. He has 8 targets, 8 targets. Here's the thing. Bobo is not the direct replacement for DK because they're two different type of receivers. You look at his size and people are going, yeah, man, we love Bobo, get him in there. I love Bobo too. I think he's a good receiver, but he's not the stretch to field type of guy. Will he get more snaps? I think naturally every receiver who is suited up will get a few more snaps because DK's out, but I'm looking at Laviska Shenault to be that guy. He is the only one who is not a starter who has a resume that is pretty long. In Jacksonville, he has 2 seasons over 600 yards. He has shown that he is explosive, 96-yard touchdown on the kick return. I think he has to be the guy. I do expect to see Bobo in a bit more. With Bobo's 123 snaps, most of them are in the run game. He's a great blocker. They use him in those scenarios. But we've seen especially at the start of last year, that he can score. He's big in the red zone. Once you get inside the 20, I think that's where Bobo comes alive. If you are getting him the football inside, in between the 20s, then he's more of a possession type of receiver. Not a knock on Bobo. That's just who he is. So I expect Laviska to get more time. I do expect everyone to get more time. But if you're looking for an explosive replacement for the short term, I think you got to go with number one.
Is this a day that can just be a Ken Walker showcase?
I hope it is. But we haven't had a Ken Walker showcase in a while. We've had it when it comes to him getting in the end zone and scoring touchdowns. But as far as just a almost like a stubbornness when it comes to feeding him the football, we haven't gotten that. But I also don't want to get away from what this team is. And right now, this team is the best passing team in the game when it comes to yards, attempts, and completions. That's what the Hawks do well. So don't get away from that. But it's about time for a K9 party, man. Let him touch the rock.
I would really, really love that. And I know it's far easier said than done. If they could run the ball easily, they would have been doing it, right? They wouldn't have Gino Smith leading in attempts, leading in passing yards. It's not because he's not capable. It's not because he's not good. It's because you don't want to be a one-dimensional offense.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to be the team that's passing the ball more than anyone else. It makes life harder for your offensive line. It makes life harder for your quarterback, even if it does result in some nice chunk pass plays that can feel efficient. It's not actually true efficiency.
Right.
And we see that reflected in the win-loss column with where the pass game is made difficult, where Gino has a bad day, like he did against the 49ers. You can't get anything going.
If the Hawks come away with a win and Gino has 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's a Gino type of day. That lets you know that everything else is working as well. You are picking up first downs with the run. You are expanding the playbook a bit more. Last week was fun to watch because of just the commitment to the run and the pass, the explosive plays, all of that. You want to do a little bit of everything. You want quick game, you want screens, you want runs, you want to throw the ball down the field. That stresses a defense out. When Gino steps back there and throws it 50 times and they can drop 7 guys into coverage and not worry about the run, that stresses Gino out. He can do it. We've seen him be efficient throwing the ball 50 times, but that's not conducive for this team at least when it comes to winning ball games. There are teams that have operated that way. We've seen a Pat Mahomes team do that. We saw the Bills back in the day operate that way as well. That's just not how this team is built, man. You got to get the run going, and it has to be multiple. We talk about multiple defense, the odd front, the even front, 2 high shell, single high, rolling the safety down. Same thing with an offense. You want to pack it in. I want to see some 2-back sets, 2 tight end sets, spread it out. And I think Grubb has done a little bit of everything this year. And if you lose a weapon like DK, maybe he taps into that, doing multiple type of formations and plays and finding his groove, man. I think he's really close, man. I like what Grubb has been doing over the past couple weeks.
The Seahawks are taking on the Rams Sunday, November 3rd. Seattle Sports is excited to give away 4 tickets to watch the game in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, that's okay. Just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily for your chance to win. This contest runs through Tuesday, October 29th. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Hype Train coming your way next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
He is Mark Schlereth.
No, I thought it was a really big-time win. I mean, Atlanta's been scoring points. Kirk Cousins been playing great. They're a really good offensive football team. They've got some really good defenders as well. So to go in there and to be able to win on the road and hold them to 14 points, I thought that was a big-time performance by the Seahawks.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Build better benefits for your employees with the MBA Health Trust. The Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties offers quality and affordable health benefits for local construction businesses. Learn more at mbahealthtrust.com.
As fall and winter weather sets in, your lawn becomes a muddy mess, and your kids and pets bring the mud inside. But with Synthetic Turf Northwest, you can have a lush, green yard year-round. No mud, no mess. Their premium synthetic turf systems drain fast and stay clean, no matter how hard it rains. Right now, during the Fall Blitz, you can save up to $1,500 on a new synthetic lawn. So say goodbye to muddy paws and say hello to your dream lawn. Call Synthetic Turf Northwest today or visit syntheticturfnorthwest.com to get started.
Want to listen to Seattle sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Hi, I'm Stuart Holmes, Elections Director for Washington State. Free, fair, and secure elections are the backbone of our democracy. No matter what's on the ballot, election officials work tirelessly to ensure every eligible voter's voice is heard. Regular integrity checks against federal and state databases ensure Washington's voter roll is clean and accurate. Check your voter registration at votewa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of Secretary of State and aired in cooperation with the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Disturbed live Climate Pledge Arena May 5th. Head to seattlesports.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's seattlesports.com/win for your chance to win.
Right now at Les Schwab, it's the deal you've been waiting for. The Score More sales event. Save up to $160 instantly on a wide selection of 4 tires and 4 wheels. Plus, every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just one more way you'll get more from less. Stop by the store or find your tires at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
All right, guys, you looking for a fun night out? It's Mike Salk here to remind you that Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go, unwind, and have some fun, and to eat some great food. Make sure to check out 12 Moons. And then Vista Prime Steaks and Seafood has the amazing happy hour menu that starts at 4 p.m. And Falls Buffet, they're serving up all your favorites like the prime rib every day, the fresh pasta, made-to-order stir-fried noodles, pizza, salad bar, dessert bar. They make their pies every day. All with breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. It is Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown, Snoqualmie Casino. Please game responsibly.
Seattle is home to Swedish CyberKnife, a non-invasive and highly precise treatment for prostate cancer. Compared with other radiation treatments, CyberKnife treatment is much shorter, typically 5 treatments. The vast majority of patients experience minimal side effects and can continue normal activities during treatment. Swedish CyberKnife patients enjoy excellent cancer control rates and minimal disruption to normal activities. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Keep your business connected with Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi backup. Or get started with reliable internet and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, don't forget you can rate, review, and subscribe to the Bump and Stacy podcast. We are available wherever it is you get your podcasts, whether it's Google Play, Apple, Spotify. Please make sure to leave a review. Those really matter to us. It means a ton. So if you already subscribed to the pod, go ahead and go back and leave a review. And if you haven't yet, but you do enjoy listening and you want to tune back in to find interviews or anything that you miss, like if you've got a lunch meeting today and you're going to miss Boye Mafe joining us at noon, maybe you want to go to the Bump and Stacy podcast and go download that episode and then leave us a review when you do that. Anyways, means a ton to us. We really appreciate it. Right now, though, we're heading to the station for Hype Train. Let's go. You know, you get these little media books that get you ready for the game from the Seattle Seahawks, and they lay out all the stats, make it very convenient. And here I am looking at 2024 stat leaders for the Buffalo Bills. Of course, Josh Allen, their leading passer. What's this? 12 touchdowns, no interceptions? Certainly, that's not the Josh Allen I know. The Josh Allen I know loves to take some risks as a passer. It makes him incredibly explosive. It also makes him mistake-prone. But no, he has not thrown a single interception this season. However, that changes. This is your first Hype Train. Josh Allen throws his first pick of the year on Sunday.
So that means that this defensive line is going to provide some pressure. Boye Mafe is going to get some quarterback hits. D. Hall is going to continue his stellar play. Byron Murphy is going to collapse that pocket. It's going down. Young Jock 2003. I am on that hype train. Let's get it. You know who's going to grab it? Kobe Bryant.
Hey.
Second week in a row with interception. Let's get it, 8.
All right.
Josh Allen throws his first interception of the season on Sunday. Bump is boarding. Not only that, he calls a shot, says it's going to be Kobe Bryant. 2 interceptions, 2 weeks. Curtis, are you boarding the train? It's not Kobe Bryant. It's just that Josh throws a pick.
Yeah, I'm boarding this train. I think Josh Allen throws his first of the season. I think it's a tip ball, and Ernest Jones comes down with it. His first game as a Seahawk, he picks off Josh Allen, the first guy to do it in the 2024 season. We have seen, Cody Barton and Tom Brady's interception streak.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's weirder candidates out there that could end an interception streak. So I think Ernest Jones gets it done on Sunday. So, yes, Josh Allen turns it over or throws an interception. He has one turnover this season, but not via the interception. So it happens on Sunday. Book it.
We may or may not have an Ernest Jones bet going between Bump and I, but I am going to say this. Yeah, I am, and it's for this reason. The Buffalo Bills are entering this game specifically because Josh Allen hasn't thrown a pick, but for many other reasons. As one of the best teams in the league in turnover differential, it was a stat Bump gave us to start the show, plus 10. The Seahawks, meanwhile, are one of the worst. Prior to that game with Kobe and Julian getting picks, they hadn't had an interception since week 1. So this is really a bad prediction to make on my behalf, but I think this pass defense has been solid. Teams have been able to run the ball, so why would you not run, you know what I mean, and kind of go against the pass and not necessarily challenge them. But I like Devin Witherspoon. I like Julian Love. I think they've got some good pieces, and I am feeling a big day for these defensive backs, including their backups. So, yes, I am also boarding this one. We got all 3 aboard. Next train into the station. Who's that tiny 8-year-old British boy that they invited on the train? All aboard! The World Series starts Friday, tomorrow. Very excited for this one. I hate to say it, but Rob Manfred, you are right. You have me in your grasp. I'm excited about a World Series between the Yankees and Dodgers. The Dodgers will be crowned champs over the Yanks.
Come on now, you know what it is. We got the greatest player in the game right now going up against the other greatest player in the game right now.
Going up against great players.
Aaron Judge. I just pulled up just the basic stat sheet, and it goes, oh, who leads in home runs? Shohei 54, Aaron 58. Oh, batting average, Shohei 310, Aaron 322. Oh, RBIs, Shohei 130, Aaron 144. If Shohei didn't steal 50 bags, I mean, it'd be too easy not to side with the Yankees and end this matchup. But you know what? You know where I'm from. You know what it is. LA all day. Doyers with the win.
Curtis, something tells me I'm not going to like your answer. The Dodgers will be crowned champs over the Yankees in this World Series, which begins tomorrow, Game 1. Are you boarding this train?
I want the Dodgers to win. Let's put it out there.
I don't like
because I don't like the Yankees at all.
I have to agree.
Yeah, but I just think the Yankees have the pitching that the Dodgers don't right now, and I think that's what will ultimately decide this series. So I think the Yankees, unfortunately, win this World Series over the Dodgers. I'll be rooting for the boys in the lighter blue bump, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
I am unfortunately not boarding either. I'm with Curtis on the station platform. Bump boarded the train. Come on, guys! And then he's walking down the hallway of the train, still talking like we're right behind him. And then
I
both
saved
Curtis
you 2
and
seats.
Yeah. And then he just has turned around, looked out the window, seen me and Curtis standing on the platform, sadly waving to him, and realized he's been abandoned by his friends because I simply cannot board this train. I want the Dodgers to win. They certainly have the firepower. They have the talent. They have everything going for them. It's going to be a phenomenal matchup. I hope it goes to 7. I just think that this might be the year for the Yanks.
Real friends support friends no matter what.
I will be rooting for the Dodgers. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Messed up.
More about this than anything else.
Here's the thing. I'm kind of scared, though. You know, I'm a bit nervous. You know, I know what the Yankees got over there. And Curtis, that was a great point. It's the pitching, man. We've been so suspect. The one guy we need every playoff to come through never plays in the playoff because he's always freaking hurt. But we're still going to get it done.
Next up. Go to the Dogs. They are back from a bye, taking on number 13, Indiana. Indiana currently undefeated. That ends, though. Huskies will spoil Indiana's undefeated season with a road win on Saturday. Bump, are you boarding?
The Huskies have shown me nothing to make me believe that they are going to beat Indiana. Unfortunately, this ain't even no Husky hate, okay? Before y'all come at me all sideways and talk all your stuff, it's real. If you've seen Indiana play, I didn't believe them. But the more I watch, the more I do research, the more I talk to people, the more I believe. I think UW is just in a weird place right now. Give it a year or two, and they'll be back.
Curtis, the Huskies will spoil number 13 Indiana's undefeated season with a road win on Saturday. Like Bump, are you a Husky hater?
I am, yes. Not boarding that train. I think Indiana continues their momentum. They're not just beating teams, they're blowing them out. Like, they haven't played really any close games this season. I think that continues. Even with their backup quarterback in on Saturday, I still think that this Indiana team is among they're one of the more fun stories in all of college football this season. Taven Jackson is who's going to get the start at quarterback for the Hoosiers on Saturday. So I think they continue this momentum. Huskies do not get it done on Saturday.
I don't need to answer this question, frankly. It's not my responsibility. As a dog, you guys know where my loyalties lie. I don't need to say whether or not I really believe.
No, we don't.
That's none of my business.
Okay.
I don't think it's happening. I don't. I would love for a win. I would love to add some more spice to a season that has been about figuring out a lot of things as opposed to building on a national title visit.
Just look solid. Just look solid.
Look, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with look solid. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Let's take a look around the NFL and including the Seattle Seahawks with Trey Wingo. He joins us next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Brock and Salk.
All right, must be time to talk to Daniel Jeremiah. What does that tell you when you see guys off the street succeed for a game in the NFL?
It tells me that you have a teaching staff, not just a coaching staff. I think so many times we think about coaches and we think about, being in a dark room and drawing up scheme. And at the end of the day, these players don't arrive in the NFL fully developed. That's a pretty good sign that they've got a good teaching staff there.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Can you tell me again, and the entire audience, Shannon, what is direct access?
Brock, in the state of Washington, direct access means if you are experiencing pain or a musculoskeletal dysfunction or a problem, you do not need to get a referral from a physician to see your physical therapist. And here at IRG, we encourage our patients to get a hold of us right away after an injury. Why? Is because we know if we get them in early through direct access, they get better, meaning their outcomes are improved, they get back to functional pain-free activity quicker, and the downstream costs are decreased. It's better for us, but more importantly, it's better for the patient. Remember, direct access, no referral required. We're not pushing the doctor out of the loop. We're still engaging with your physician, but we're just getting the patient in early.
With over 40 clinics, convenient neighborhood locations all over, you never have to travel far. Visit irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over. And if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Bonneville, Seattle, and Seattle Sports are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Cressy Garage Doors. Make your home unique and stylish. Have it stand out from the other homes in your neighborhood. The #1 return on investment for your home. Cressy Garage Doors. Since 1952.
Hey Seattle, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Call Techline Roofing and trust the team I trust. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. That's TEKLINE roofing.com. Trust Techline.
Hey there, Brock Ewart with some huge news. The Federal Reserve has just cut interest rates by 50 basis points. That's half a point. That's more than what the markets were expecting, which means more savings for you. And if you're up at night feeling stressed and feeling the pinch of high-rate credit cards or personal loan payments, now might be the perfect time to consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage. You see, for over 25 years, Tila's been helping the good folks right here in Washington State save money by lowering their rates and monthly payments. You can unlock the equity in your home and pay off that high-interest debt. Consolidate your bills, reduce your monthly payments, and free up cash for what matters most. TILA, spelled T-I-L-A, is Washington's trusted source for honest and ethical mortgage advice, so don't wait. Call TILA Mortgage today at 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILAmortgage.com.
Keeler Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Floor Coverings International.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, it is Trey Wingo. Don't forget, you can tune in to Trey Mondays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, for DraftKings NFL pregame show. Pregame power-up, a lot to talk about with the league right now. Been a very exciting 7 weeks, Trey. I'm going to start with the Seahawks, obviously, but we got a couple teams to look at. Tell me what you've made so far of a Seahawks season with a brand new head coach. Does it look any different?
It does. The first thing, hey, you have a winning record. Yeah. So that's what you want. But the imbalance on offense, I think, is interesting, right? Like, Gino is doing too much. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he lead the league in yards, attempts, all that kind of stuff. And we've never had a Seahawks quarterback lead the league in passing. He's 34. He'd be the oldest to ever, if this continues through the rest of the season, to lead the league in passing for the first time at that age. I'm sure that Coach McDonald would like a little more balance on the offense, but they're riding a hot hand right now.
What do you think about DK? He's such an interesting figure to me, and I would assume to a lot of other people, because you see what he brings to the table, his explosiveness, and yet people here in Seattle still want more from him. And Trey, I've settled in just this is who he is. He's a guy who will make some big plays. He'll drop a couple passes, but he's worth the attention that he gets in an offense.
Michael, I agree with you. Like, if you're looking at this point in his career for him to be something different, best of luck to you. Right? I mean, very rarely does that happen. It's funny we're having this conversation right after I mentioned Gino Smith, who obviously has had a massive transformation in his career. But that's when he actually got an opportunity to play again. And, obviously with the quarterback situation, I think it's a little easier sometimes to make a transition and to be a different player with better coaching, better players around you, all that kind of stuff. But DK is who he is. He's feisty, he's aggressive, he's dynamic, and he's going to frustrate you. I mean, that's part of the package. You got to be able to take the good with the bad here. And I think there's way more potentially good than there is bad when we're talking about Jalen Zacharias Metcalf and what he's doing.
Trey, you're absolutely right when you talk about that imbalance on offense, which is really a shame because Ken Walker looks phenomenal when they actually are able to get him going and when that offensive line can get some protection and get some holes for him. What do you see from Ken? Because I got to be honest, even in his first season when he went for 1,000 yards, not a lot of people were like, oh, he could be a top 5 back. He could be a top 7 back. And I feel like I've heard a little more of that recently. Do you see that?
Yeah, he has that potential, but the problem with running back is everybody's going to get hurt, except for Derrick Henry. It makes no sense. Henry, you go back and look at his. I think he had 500 carries one year in high school. I mean, this is a guy who, by every significant metric, should be worn to the nub right now. I mean, he should, for all the hits and all the carries that he's had over all these years, he should have been an issue. He should have been retired 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. So kudos to him and the things he's been able to do to keep his body ready to play. But everyone's going to get banged up. Everyone's going to have those situations. So it's just par for the course. And I think that when he's in there, he can absolutely do those things. The question is, how consistently can he be in there?
Trey, let's take a look at the NFC West. It's such a odd place right now. The Cardinals, I'm still trying to figure out. The Rams seem like they're about to jump into rebuild mode. The Niners are banged up everywhere, and I'm interested. I want to see if Brock Purdy can be the quarterback to elevate the play of his teammates. He's had a lot of weapons over there. When you look across this division, what do you think the Hawks' chances are to come out on top of this thing? Because to start the year, I'm thinking no chance, but I'm looking at everyone else and their struggles. I'm thinking maybe there's a possibility.
I think that is a possibility. I think that's the way you have to look at it now. I mean, no one else has a winning record. So right now you have to look at Seattle and say, yeah, all right, they've been able to look, they got off to that great start with the defense was suffocating. And of course you had to look at the quarterbacks that they were or were not playing during those first 3 games. And that's sort of come back to it a little bit. But I think that Seattle has as good a chance as anybody. I mean, the injury thing for the Niners is just incredible. Like, it's been so massive, and it started this summer. If you guys remember, I think they were going to set to have a joint practices with the Saints, and they had to cancel those because they were too banged up. And Michael, you know this from playing. If you're banged up before week one, that usually transcends into the season and becomes a problem for the entire length of the season. So, they've had all kinds of issues, and now their wide receiving core has gotten so thin. And you mentioned Brock; he had those 3 interceptions against the Chiefs last week. I only think one of them was on him. The first one he threw right to Justin Reed; he just didn't see him. But the second one, I think that one of those young wide receivers shallowed up the routes and wasn't where Purdy thought he was going to be. And so much of that 49ers offense and what Purdy does is based on, throwing before the receiver gets to the spot that he thinks he's going to be there. We saw that, I think, last year in the Minnesota game where he had some of those same situations. He was thrown to a spot, and the receiver didn't get to the spot. So, and then the last one by the goal line, his arm was hit. So the people always freak out about interceptions. I'd say half the time the interceptions are not on the quarterback. Sometimes the receiver runs the wrong route. Sometimes, there's a crazy tip ball. Even the 2 that Mahomes had last week. One, his arm was hit, and the other one, the receiver fell down. Like, it's hard to say, how could you throw that interception? Well, he was upright when I threw it, and then he was on the ground. So it was impossible for him to catch the ball. But Brock is, the thing about Brock, though, like, I think the Niners are 6-8 when he turns it over, and unbeaten with him as a starter when he doesn't turn it over. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be problematic going forward. I think they're going to get Debo back, but, didn't have Juwan Jennings in that game. They didn't have Brandon Ayuk after the first or second quarter after that horrific knee injury, which sidelined him for the year. So I'm happy he got its money. But it's just, you take away people's top targets, and it's amazingly how much more average quarterbacks become.
Well, speaking of, Josh Allen's top target obviously sent in a trade to Houston. He's actually played really well this year, 12 touchdowns, no interceptions for him. The Bills are a little confusing to me, Trey, to be completely honest. Record is amazing.
Absolutely.
Great turnover differential, points per game solid, and everything else is like kind of average looking. I don't know. What do you see?
Well, first of all, to your point about Josh, this is the longest stretch in his career he's ever gone without an interception.
It's just crazy.
8 games. 8 games going back to last season, but 7 straight to start this season, and 12 touchdown passes. But even Josh will tell you, I've thrown some interceptions that just haven't been caught, and that happens. But he had the most turnovers from 2018 through the 2023 season. He had more turnovers than any player in football. So it's great to see him sort of rein that in. But the Bills are sort of defined, to me, by who they play. They're 5-0 against teams that are under 500 and 0-2 against teams that have winning records. And now they come to Seattle with a team that has a winning record and a very difficult place to play on the road, going east to west. So, everyone looks at Josh when things are going well and say, oh, they should roll. Well, they really are who they play, and this, I think, is going to be a really interesting litmus test game for them because they've beaten up on the teams you want to beat up on, but they've been handled. And, the other thing that drives me crazy with the Bills is that I love Sean McDermott, but he tends to outthink himself a few times. I lost to Houston when Josh was 9 of 30 you can't just gloss over that. He was 9 of frickin' 30. That's almost impossible to do.
It's impressive.
And then in a tie game, with about 31 seconds to go, instead of let's run out the clock, let's not lose the game here. Let's get to overtime and see what happens. They throw it 3 straight times, so the Texans don't have to use any of their timeouts. So they kick it away, and then because they had a timeout after the punt return, they got 7 yards, and he was able to kick. Fannie Fairbairn was able to kick that game-winning kick. Like Sean sometimes does his no good with the way he manages the game, and I think to me more than Josh and everything else, that's the biggest question about Buffalo. Will the coaching staff get in their own way? And I've seen that a lot from Sean over the years, and it's the one thing that sort of drives me crazy. Whether it's the 13-second squib kick against the Chiefs in the divisional round, or last year in the divisional round against the Chiefs, where inside their own 35-yard line, they went up for a fake punt. And, if Mecole Hardman doesn't fumble the ball out of the end zone, Chiefs probably win that game by 10 or 14 points instead of 3. So he's just found ways to put his team in a detrimental situation, and that's my biggest concern for Buffalo.
Easy question for me here, real simple. What the heck is going on in Dallas?
Well, history more than anything. The NFC East is the only division. Well, not the only division. Let me rephrase that. The NFC East has the longest stretch of no team repeating in that division. The Eagles won it 4 years in a row from 99 to 2003. And since then, no one has repeated. So the easy answer is, well, they won it last year, so of course they're not going to win it this year. But Dallas did nothing this offseason. They literally did nothing. Jerry Jones said he's all in. He was all in on knitting, I guess, because it wasn't on acquiring players. They lost Dan Quinn, and you can see the difference Dan has made up in Washington with the Commanders. They lost some weapons. They had to pay CD. They paid Dak. And they can't get out of their own way. Michael, the thing that drives me crazy about it, we're talking about a team last year that, through the end of last season, had the second longest home winning streak in Cowboys franchise history. Last year at home, they had the best turnover margin and the best point differential in the NFL, and they cannot stop from getting smoked at home. Now, you go back to the playoff loss to the Packers in the wild card round, they have given up, over that time frame, more points per game at home over a 4-game stretch than any team in NFL history. Like that's a ridiculous thing to happen that quickly when it was they were unbeatable at home last year, and now not only can they not win, they can't stop anything. It's been a disaster.
Hey, I think that right now Lamar Jackson, a favorite for MVP. If he weren't, it sounds stupid to say take him off the table, but is there someone else in this conversation around the league or someone else that's kind of catching your eye that could be a dark horse?
Jared Goff. I mean, people need to understand what he's doing. Just to put it in perspective, he's now gone 4 straight games. He's now gone 4 straight games where he's completed over 80% of his passes and had a passer rating of 140. Now, those are just numbers, right? But let's put it in perspective. Here's the entire list of quarterbacks since the AFL-NFL merger that have had a 4-game run where they've had at least 80% of the passes completed and had a 140 passer rating over 4 games. Jared Goff. That's the list. That's how dynamic he's been. He had that one game where he was 18-18, although the NFL won't recognize it as a record because you have to have minimum 20 attempts, which is so dumb to make that the greatest passing game of all time. So I would absolutely put Jared Goff in there. Look, Lamar's played great, but I think one of the reasons Lamar's playing great is because of the addition of Derrick Henry, we just talked about, and it's freed him up. But I would absolutely have to put Jared Goff on that list right next to, if not slightly behind, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it's you know what it is, Trey. He just doesn't look sexy. He's not super athletic. He's not flamboyant. He doesn't grab the eye.
He's got like a Ryan Gosling vibe. I wouldn't say, I would say it's more that the narrative was established.
Ryan
that Jared
Gosling.
Goff
I don't
is
look
dumb.
at Ryan Gosling the same way you look at Ryan Gosling. That's
fine.
Hey, go watch Crazy Stupid Love and then come back to me with that answer.
Exactly. Thank you, Trey.
What's going on in Minnesota? I've been a big fan when I heard Darnold was going to get the nod over there, obviously with JJ being hurt. I was excited. I figured put him around some weapons and let's see what happens. What are your thoughts with that situation over there?
Yeah, listen, first of all, I got to say Minnesota has been the most surprising team to me this season. I did not see this coming from them with everything that is going on there, but I couldn't be happier for Sam. Like, people forget he's only 27 years old. I think he and Joe Burrow are either the same age or just like a few days apart. He might actually be younger than Joe Burrow. Sometimes it takes a little while for the recipe to cook, and he got thrown into a horrible situation with the Jets. And as we can find out, it doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the Jets. They're always going to stink, right? If the quarterback and the head coach were the problem for the Jets, well, they got rid of them both. Last year they were 4-3. This year they're 2-5. So maybe it's something else that's going on in New York. But I'm happy for Sam because we give up on guys too quickly sometimes, I think. And you can say the same thing about Baker, and now it's going to be tougher for him. And obviously, he just lost his top 2 wide receivers in Godwin and Mike Evans. Godwin's gone for the year, and Evans is going to be out for a while. But, sometimes it just, these guys come into the league, and they're kids. I mean, they're kids. They're 21. They're 22 years old. Very rarely do we see the maturity of a guy like C.J. Stroud. his first year, or Patrick Mahomes, or Peyton Manning, these guys that get it right away, and understand. Like, it's one thing to play quarterback, another thing to understand the position, right? It's so much more than making a throw. It's being a leader. It's leading the team. It's understanding all these nuances. And for me, that's what I love about Sam, is that he's figuring it out. He's found his rhythm, and it's really fun to see, and I'm happy for him. But this is a big week for them, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to go 5-0 and everything's great. You had a 10-point lead at home against the Lions. The place was rocking. And then you kind of got steamrolled after that. And the last thing you want to do is now go on the road, and suddenly you go from 5-0 to 5-2, and people are like, well, what are you? Like, remember the Saints? They started 2-0. They've lost 5 straight since then. So, this is a game that is kind of dangerous in my opinion, for the Vikings. I mean, we're facing a team, Michael, as you said, in the Rams. It sure looks like they're going into full rebuild mode. So what will we see from them on Thursday? And they're off to the worst start, by the way, the worst 6-game start to a season in Sean McVay's career as a head coach. So this is kind of for the Vikings, you better take care of business here, because if you lose this one, people will be like, okay, that start was great, but what are you? What are you really?
All right, before you watch Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football, make sure you tune in to Pregame Power Up with Trey Wingo. It's on DraftKings NFL Pregame Show, 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can also watch for free on YouTube. And make sure you download Trey's podcast, Alternate Routes, wherever you get your podcasts. It is the best idea ever for a podcast. I remember us being so excited when this dropped, and I'm not going to tell you anything else about it because I want that to be the tease. I want you to go check it out and listen. It's well worth your time. Trey, thank you so much.
Thanks, Trey.
Stacey, Michael, anytime. Take care.
All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, who will be getting a second chance this weekend, but is probably still set up for failure. That's so depressing.
Yeah, it's messed up. I'm happy the young man's getting another chance, but Bryce Young, it ain't looking good for you over there, man.
Yeah.
You don't have weapons. Your veteran receiver is out. You're playing the Denver defense, who is allowing 15 points per game, 28 sacks, that's second in the NFL. I'm looking at Bryce Young, and I'm happy for him. It's unfortunate what happened to Andy Dalton, got in a car accident, so his wrist and his thumb are jacked up. Everyone's safe, but Bryce Young has a chance, but he's going up against one of the best defenses in the game. I'm happy for him, but I'm scared for him at the same time. There is another guy who's getting an opportunity, and it should be fun. The pregame speech is going to be fire. The postgame presser is going to be on point. Jameis Winston is getting another chance in Cleveland, but he's going up against Baltimore. Amari Cooper is no longer there. I guess you got Nick Chubb to see if he can run the football, but these guys are getting thrown into situations where they are not set up for success. I will be watching and hoping for the best and praying that Bryce Young finds his swag, because he does not have it right now. And Jameis, it's just going to be fun watching him and listening to him.
That is really the worst feeling of, like, it's probably how you feel if it's like, oh, you're encouraging, your friend to get back out there after a breakup, and you're like, go talk to a person at the bar, and then you look at the person they're going up to and you go, no, not that person, not that person, not that person. Or like a kid where you're like, get out there and, try your hardest. Mm-hmm. You look at the team they're playing with and you're like, oh, no my kid is going to struggle.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel with these two.
No.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Second down. The Seahawks win if what?
Simple. You got to win the turnover battle, but that's going to be tough. The Bills are +10 when it comes to turnover differential. Have 7 interceptions and 5 fumbles. The only turnovers they have are 2 fumbles. But here's the key. When the Hawks win the turnover battle since 2010, 2011, they are 90-19.
Wow.
90-19. And I say that because we know that the Bills are this stingy when it comes to turning the rock over. Josh Allen's not turning the football over. He only has a fumble. So this is going to be big. Can you create the magic that we saw last week? Kobe Bryant, Jay Love, Boye Mafe, Derek Hall, all got involved when it comes to turning the football over. Easier said than done. They've been real stingy, but since 2010, 90-19, when they win the turnover battle, it is going to be huge. It might just come down to that. Can you do it? If you do it, you win.
Third down. What's a matchup you'll be watching on Sunday?
I want to see how the Bills use Amari Cooper. He only got 18 snaps last week. When he was with Cleveland, he had 53 targets, 24 receptions, only a 45% catch rate. That is crazy for someone like him. So now when you compare him to Stephon Diggs of last year, Stephon Diggs got the ball 66% of the time. He had longs of 55, 48, 36, and 34. The thing that made Stephon Diggs great, he's one of the best off the line that I've seen in the game, and he is a deep field threat. How are you going to integrate Amari Cooper into this offense? That's what makes Josh Allen even more dangerous this week. He finally has himself a number one receiver. Word on the street was that Amari Cooper was not engaged. He wasn't locked in over there in Cleveland because he felt they had no chance of winning. He might be rejuvenated. 45% catch rate is ridiculous to me. A guy of Amari Cooper's status and the resume that he has should perform at a higher level. So they're going to use him in the slot. The touchdown he did catch last week was from the slot. Keon Coleman, there's a clip going around that. Amari Cooper looks to the left and asks Keon Coleman what the route was or what the play was. Keon gives it to him. Keon, being the good teammate he is during the post-game press, he goes, "No, I was just confirming what he was supposed to do."
He's like a good guy.
He's a good guy. There's going to be no confirmation needed now. Amari Cooper has a full week, a week and a half in this offense. He's going to understand it. Who is going to match up with him, and how are you going to lock that man down? That's a matchup. Him, Amari Cooper versus whoever's in front of him. That's a matchup I'm going to be looking at.
Fourth down. With DK most likely not playing this weekend, who has an opportunity to shine?
Lots of people have been asking for this young man to step up, and I'm looking at JSN. And what people don't understand sometimes, receivers, man, we're at the mercy of our quarterback, our offensive line, our play caller. Sometimes you design plays, you call plays to get other guys involved, and naturally you go to your number one receiver. He leads the team with receptions. He has 37. He's second when it comes to targets, 55. So it's not like they haven't been getting him the ball. They've just been using him in a different way. So with DK out, I talked about Laviska Shenault being maybe the deep threat guy. Move JSN around. How can you get JSN involved? Because people are a little disappointed in his production because they look at that number 20 pick and they say, well, you could have gotten that in the later rounds. Probably, but you also have to understand, you got DK here, you got K9 here. There are other guys in front of JSN when it comes to priority of getting the ball in big play situations, though he does lead the team in receptions. With DK gone, I'm looking at JSN, and I'm hoping that they unlock something. Let this man have a day. He does have a game this year with 12 receptions, over 100 yards, and a touchdown, I believe. Let's get back to that. Let JSN do his thing. I'm excited for this young man to see if he can show the Seahawks Nation that he is a number one type of receiver.
I know this sounds like a silly question, but why JSN over Jake Bobo? By far, the latter is the most popular response that I get on the text line.
I think Jake Bobo has just found a way to become endearing to a lot of people here. And it's natural. He has a great personality. We've spoken to him a couple times, and he had a good preseason a couple years ago. Last year, he started the season hot, had 2 touchdowns before JSN had his touchdown. I think that you look at his stature, you look at, you listen to him speak and his personality, people love him. But there are things that JSN can do that Jake Bobo can't, and vice versa. I just think that JSN is more of a complete receiver when you look at the route tree and the way that he moves his body. Bobo's a baller, though. I think he can contribute, too.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Another reason for Aaron Rodgers haters to feel annoyed. Plus, a crazy stat about one NFC West team that's coming your way next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Seahawks with a huge win on the road. Guy that played a big part in that is cornerback Nehemiah Pritchett. How much does going up against guys like Tyler Lockett and JSN and DK Metcalf get you prepared for what you're going to face out there on the field?
You know, Lockett's the vet. You know, all the tricks. You just learn a lot going against Locke. DK, you know, he's a more physical receiver, super fast, with good hands. And JSN just a mixture of both, so it definitely helps you prepare for Sunday.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, this is Stacey Rost, and if you're looking for top-notch service for your plumbing, heating, and air needs, look no further than Ben's Plumbing, Heating, and Air. For over 25 years, Ben's has been providing 5-star service to our community. Their team of experienced professionals are dedicated to making sure you get the best service possible. That means no pressure, no gimmicks, just honest, reliable work. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, Ben's has got you covered. And with their no-pressure sales approach, you can rest easy, knowing you're only getting the services you actually need without unnecessary upsells. So whether it's a leaky faucet, a broken heater, or an AC on the fritz, trust the experts with over a quarter century of excellence. Call Ben's Plumbing, Heating, and Air today at 206-789-5353 or benz.plumbing. Ben's Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where 5-star service meets no pressure sales.
What's one of the biggest issues when you're trying to hire a roofing contractor? Are they going to do what you hired them to do? On time, on budget? Asset Roofing knows in addition to putting the premier roofing system on your home, the most valuable things they can provide to you are communication and transparency. I encourage you to check out and see what Asset Roofing is all about. Head to AssetRoofingCo.com.
Certified work that's never in doubt. Asset Roofing, excellence is on the house.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks Insider, brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. Now here's Maura Dooley.
Mike Macdonald has repeatedly mentioned the Seahawks need to improve at the second level in order to fix their run defense. And yesterday, they made a trade for Titans linebacker Ernest Jones, hoping to do just that. Jones had 145 tackles and 4.5 sacks playing for the Rams last season. Mike Macdonald spoke about what they saw in him.
I think you're looking at it really through the lens of, hey, this is an opportunity to get a really good player, just like it was with Roy. But to be the middle of the defense and have linebacker play and play at a high level really helps out. And our guys they're doing a lot of great things. Our linebackers are. Just felt like this was the right move for us right now.
The Seahawks Insider is brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. For the latest on the Seahawks anytime, go to seattlesports.com.
You're losing your hair and you want a simple solution that works, and you want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Parungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, they were recently crowned 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. 425-449-8185. If you qualify, get $250 off and $250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185. Refine your hairline with a team that's redefined hair restoration. AdvancedHair.com.
Hi, I'm
Scott Rucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. With rising interest rates and banks and credit unions continuing to tighten, the demand for our private portfolio loans has never been stronger. Therefore, for a limited time only, Legacy's Opportunity Fund is paying 7% interest on short-term cash with just a 90-day commitment and a 30-day notice to withdraw. It's the perfect place to park your short-term cash. And at 7%, I would challenge you to find a better short-term opportunity in the marketplace today. Don't let your short-term cash sit in a savings or money market account when you can get 7% with Legacy's Opportunity Fund and join the over 800 local investors with over $200 million invested.
Act now to receive Legacy's Opportunity Fund one-time offer of 7% on short-term cash. Visit Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. That's legacyg.com. Legacy Family of Funds investments are available to accredited investors only. 7% APR is current rate for the Legacy Group Capital Opportunity Fund. Terms and conditions at legacyg.com.
This hour is brought to you by Floor Coverings International.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
We're going to find that out in a minute. Let's start with this story, though. First one on the timeline, you're listening to Bump and Stacy telling you some of the weirder, trending stories you're going to see around the world of sports just to get you caught up with what some coworkers might be talking about in the kitchenette. So let's get to it. Aaron Rodgers got to flex his big vocabulary. Good for you, Aaron, during his Wednesday press conference. I love, by the way, that this cut number 8, is titled Uses Big Words in Press Conference.
I mean, every year presents its own challenges, and thankfully we're not to the denouement of this season. You know, there's still a lot of time left. I think it's important that we all just stay as sanguine as possible. You know, it's a long season. There's a lot of ups and downs. We've had a lot of adversity already this season. We just got to stick together and get one and then start to build off of that.
Here's where I'm stuck, Bump. Never in my life do I want to shame or make fun of anyone, even if I don't personally like them, for reading more, for adding words to their lexicon, to extending their vocabulary, to, you know, trying to improve themselves. Like, even if I don't like someone, that's a lame thing to shame someone for. That being said, what? This feels like a word you reach into, and like, this isn't just out of your back pocket. You hit someone like, well, to juxtapose those two things, and you're like, ooh, we're going juxtapose today. This is a word that, like, I don't think I've ever used denouement in a sentence in my entire life, and I'm an English major. Like, it's not something I've ever. This feels like effort was included here.
First time I ever heard that word in my life. First time I've ever heard it.
It means the final part of a play, movie, or narrative in which the strands of the plot are drawn together and matters are explained or resolved. I love the word and definition.
Yeah, it sounds cool and makes them sound extremely smart. If I were in that room, I would raise my hand and say, definition, please. Country of origin. It'd be like a spelling bee. Hook me up, dog. I'm good for Rodgers, though.
I want to know, while I have the Mac and Jack's text line open, if there's a word that you guys like to pull out once in a while, just to be like, ooh, I hit him with that.
Nah.
I will let you know that if there's one of them that I don't know how to pronounce, I'm not going to read it on air. So we're moving on. What happens if an NFL player gets called to jury duty? I have not openly wondered this, but it's been a passing thought. Like, what happens if, like, an actor filming a movie gets called for jury duty? Is the movie put on hold? What happens if an NFL player gets called to jury? Like, does he have to serve? Well, we kind of have a little bit of an answer. Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey was mysteriously absent from Cowboys practice on Wednesday. Now we know why. He was selected to serve on a 12-person jury in Tarrant County, Texas. Cut 9. Here's head coach Mike McCarthy.
So you just kick after jury duties, you come in, they set up.
Correct, yes.
He'll be on the fly if it's all good for the game.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Well, this happens all the time, so I mean, you know, no big deal.
What time does your charter get back in after the game on?
After the game?
Yeah.
In time for him to get back to jury duty. So
he can't kick it without a jury duty?
Just when you think you've seen it all in this league, you got something else to do with it.
The case won't impact his availability for games on Sundays, but could impact any weekday game the Cowboys might have. And by the way, their next one is Monday. Monday Night Football, November 18th versus Houston.
If there's any position that this could happen to and not really disrupt a lot, it's a kicker. That's funny, but we've seen kickers come off the street all the time and say, we just signed this guy who was sitting at home. He comes in and kicks the game-winning field goal. But if he were to miss Monday, they have to plan for that. Another thing. So WSU's kicker, Janikowski, no relation to the Janikowski you're thinking of, is now on all kicking duty. He does kickoff returns. He does field goals. He does punts. Why don't all kickers do that? You're kicking a ball. It's like saying I can't catch a ball if it's high, if it's low, it's to the side. You got another guy to bring in for that.
Solidarity. You don't want to take someone else's job. They're like, we both need to be here. Don't learn how to snap.
It's wild. So whoever the place kicker is, go ahead and warm up, get ready to go because, or the punter, I should say, because you might have triple duty on Monday. But that always baffled me why kickers don't just kick the ball in any situation.
How would you get out of jury duty?
How would I? I'm not a very good liar, but I would come up with something that has to do with family.
I would start.
It's always family.
I would say that I'm starting a true crime podcast, and this is perfect material.
You thought about
this, monetize your jury duty?
Yeah. I'd be like, oh my God, no, can you please pick me because I'm starting a true crime podcast and I can't wait to talk about this. And then I would try.
Juror
my
number
best
7, I don't trust her to save her life.
I'd be like, I've already got a lot of notes I'm going to do for episode 1. People are texting in words that they love saying. My problem is I can't pronounce these words, but I'm going to try. But I'm signing myself up to sound stupid. I do love effervescent. I do know that word.
Bifurcate.
Bifurcate.
I think it's bifurcate. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's bifurcate. Shut up, Curtis. Indubitably. God, I'm so stupid. This is just literally, I'm just throwing people ammo right now. Here, take it. Take these arrows. Let's see. Oh, no. I don't know what this word is, but they said it's the word that kept me from going to state, maybe like in a spelling bee. That's devastating. I would remember. In fact, I lost a spelling bee on the word familiar, but it's because she mispronounced it. But I still remember.
How did she pronounce it?
She said familiar. And
familiar?
Yes, I swear to God, I remember it to this day. It was in 5th grade. I lost to Jeff Benson, and I was the best speller in the class. It wasn't close. And she said, the word is familiar. And I said F-R. So I sounded like an idiot.
Yeah. I lost mine in 2nd grade. I was so confident. The word was eagle. I'm like, got him.
No.
E-G-L-E.
And then you walked away like Nick Young, like, hey.
You're like, go sit down, bud.
Where's the confetti? Why isn't it falling down? All right, last story here. Someone said I love to use the word malarkey. What's this? 360. Curtis said Stacy pronounced it correctly.
Oh, okay.
That's all. From NFL Reddit, a wild stat involving the Arizona Cardinals. They have not won consecutive games since the 2021 season. And I don't think you guys are understanding. This includes preseason and playoff games. That's 56 games in total. Again, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals subreddit. Yeah, or NFL subreddit, excuse me. Their last win streak was weeks 11 through 13, so 11, 12, 13 in the 2021 season. They're coming off a win against the Chargers in week 7 and play a road game against the Dolphins on Sunday. We could see history, you guys.
We could see history.
We could see history.
You know why we're not, though? Today is Black Ops 6 launch day. You know what Kyler's going to be doing.
No.
He's going to be on that game.
Oh, he's going to be watching film.
He's going to be on that game.
But not the film you want him to watch. That's horrible to see.
That's wild. 56 games. That's crazy.
I just can't believe the Arizona Cardinals. Sometimes I think that they just kind of get unlucky as an organization. Like I think of when the NFC West was really, really dominant and the Cardinals were hovering around the bottom and they'd still have like 10 wins. Or it would be like a solid 9-win season or like 10, 11 wins and they wouldn't make the playoffs and you'd be like, man, that sucks. But then, and they have been to a Super Bowl more recently, or NFC Conference Championship more recently than Seattle, so credit to them that. But then they have times where they kind of hurt themselves and they kind of kick themselves. And I feel like never having consecutive games won since 2021 is a you're hurting yourself moment. That's not bad luck. That's not injury. That's a you failure.
I'd like to see the turnover numbers, the third down conversion numbers, and the red zone numbers during that span and how they stack up against everybody else. Because typically when you're not winning ball games, those 3 areas are lacking seriously.
You mentioned losing a 2nd grade spelling bee on the word eagle when you very confidently said E-G-L-E.
Yep.
The 253 says, Bump, I did the same thing in grade school. Ironically, my word was success. No, that's horrible.
Oh, man.
The Seahawks are taking on the Rams Sunday, November 3rd. Seattle Sports is excited to give away 4 tickets to watch the game in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app to simply text the word app to 866-979-3776 and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily for your chance to win. This contest runs through Tuesday, October 29th. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776. Any question, send it now.
When you're running the hurry up and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcast on demand. How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought? Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
He is your new Seahawks head coach, Mike McDonald.
We want to play a certain way, and you're just going to chisel away at it every day.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
All signs continue to point to it being the right hire.
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Key here is employee satisfaction. There is no expectation for customer satisfaction if the people that work with us don't feel taken care of and supported and loved. I'm proud of this Lily Johnson Auto family. I'm proud of our stores. And I need everybody to share in that mindset, because it makes a better experience for the customer. It also makes it a better place to work. Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me. Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Bucky's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Bucky's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Bucky's.com for the location near you.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. I'm a 5th-generation Pacific Northwesterner, graduated from UW and Seattle U School of Law. At Warrior Injury Law, we have years of experience in the trenches, fighting insurance companies for the people of Washington, my people. If you've been injured, you need a lawyer that is tough, confident, and battle-tested. Call us at 253-WARRIOR for your free case review. Warrior Injury Law, battle-tested.
Eddie's! I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Hey Seattle, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Call Techline Roofing and trust the team I trust. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. That's TEKLINE roofing.com. Trust Techline.
What does the Seahawks jersey mean? It's football.
Drops back, has time, loads up, throws. It's intercepted. Does he keep his feet in? He does! Seahawks ball!
It's community.
The stands are rocking right now. Nobody has left this place. It is pandemonium.
It's Seattle. This is your jersey. This is the Pro Shop. The Seahawks Pro Shop has the largest selection of Seahawks jerseys. Come try one on at the Landing in Renton or at Lumen Field.
The Mike McDonald Show. The first word from the head coach after every Seahawks game.
We want to play a certain way, and you're just going to chisel away at it every day.
Presented by Emerald Queen Casino.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I was having trouble getting up and down my stairs at home. I thought, well, this isn't going to work because how am I going to go to Utah and do some hiking?
When Judy came to Sound Pain Solutions, her knee pain was preventing her from enjoying an active lifestyle. She was diagnosed with osteoarthritis. She tried numerous treatments and was told she should have surgery. I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We were able to get Judy back to hiking with our comprehensive, non-surgical, and drug-free treatment.
I think that the Trigenics that they do along with the adjustment, the pressure wave, and the PRP are the best options for joint pain. And I would really recommend it to anybody who is suffering from joint pain and would like to avoid surgery.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our safe, drug-free, non-surgical treatment by calling Sound Pain Solutions or visiting soundpainsolutions.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy
weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Send them now to the Mac and Jack's text line 866-979-3776. I've been out of touch, says one listener. What I need to know, what's the latest on DK Metcalf? Is he going to play or not?
We don't know yet. He's not practicing today, though. We know that for sure. We'll see how he looks on Friday. I would not count on it, though. I would just prepare yourself for 14 to be on the sideline with a hoodie. Is it hoodie season? Yeah, it's hoodie season. He'll be on the sideline with a hoodie.
What I need to know, so we were talking about spelling bees. Trev Bell, UPS driver, says, I cheated on one. I asked the girl next to me. I still have the Seattle Times spelling bee certificate. Am I a fraud or am I Malcolm X any means necessary?
Hey, I think you're good.
I mean,
I think you're good. She was your competition, too, and she just gave up the answer?
That's dumb on her part.
Yeah.
I think if you can right now sit by yourself and spell the word fraudulent, you can keep it. That's my ruling on it. If you can spell fraudulent right now out loud and it's correct, that's your spelling bee certificate. I mean, maybe you didn't earn it outright, but you deserve it now. I think that's safe. Let's see. What I need to know, get your questions in 866-979-3776. This person said, okay, 12's question. I think they mean like watching games. I got a fan question. So I stand up when defense is on the field. I always have. Say you have an opposing team's fan and he or she is directly in front of you and they're standing up when their team's on defense. Is it okay for me to ask them to sit?
No.
I don't think so
I think standing at a game is it's a domino effect. You know, it's just something that you have to be prepared for. And if the person stands in front of you, you can't see, you got to stand up. Then the person behind you has to deal with that, and so on and so forth. So, no, I think it's fine for them to stand.
Curtis, what's your ruling on that one?
I think if you're rooting for a visiting team, you want to do stuff that's going to, like, get you out of the stadium in the safest way possible. And obstructing the view of home fans is probably not a good way to do that. So if it were me and I were rooting for an opposing team in another building, I would not be standing up. If it meant I was going to be I'd be the only person obstructing people's view. Like, nah.
I think it's kind of like in pure fairness, it is hypocritical to ask them to not do the same thing you're doing. However, I change into sweatpants the second I get home. If I go to someone else's house, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of weird. I'm playing by different rules. 360, what I need to know. Again, you can get these into the Mac and Jack's text line, 866-979-3776. Where does San Francisco finish in the NFC West?
Man, oh man. I think they finish second. I really think the Hawks have a chance to win this division now. They're going to dig themselves a hole, the Niners are. The Hawks are going to win a couple games in a row and expand that lead, and they're going to win their first division title since when, 2020?
Yeah, it was
Seahawks?
2020.
Yeah. Was that the season where they won and then lost in the wild card? That was the Rams, right? Was that John Wofford?
That was John Wofford.
Oh, that was a season that was the closest I thought they came to being like pretty good. And I remember, I think KJ Wright post game being like, "This is the best team that I felt we've been in a while." So it's really disappointing. It was. 866-979-3776. With basketball back, NBA season starting back up, do you guys make trips to Portland to watch NBA games with friends or family?
Nope. Never been there. Never been to I've been to Portland. Never been to what's it called? Rose Garden?
Right?
Yeah, never been.
Derek and I went there to watch the Blazers take on the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to see Zion, and then Zion was not playing.
Oh,
I know, and we didn't know. It was one of those things where it's like, you're not sure. He should be fine. Like, he had played the game before, and then they were like, no, he's not good for this one, and we had planned this whole trip around it. I know.
I covered the Blazers for half a season, so yes, I've been to Moda Center.
It is a thing that when we went to it, I just was thinking, like, I would love to have an NBA team. Like, it does make you lament. You can't go there and not lament not having an NBA team.
That's a good arena, by the way, down in Portland. Really good sight lines. Don't want to give Portland too much credit because, I mean, they're kind of I-5 rivalry, but it's a good building.
I already like this question because I can expect what Curtis is going to say. What I need to know, do you guys think NFL contracts are keeping up with other leagues, MLB, NBA, etc.? Also, do players dislike the NFL salary cap because it gives teams another reason to pay them less?
It's a lot. Go ahead, Curtis.
Well, if we're looking at like the amount a player can earn in each league, the NFL is third behind Major League Baseball and the NBA. The NBA has the most outlandish contracts of any American professional sport right now. You've got
this is
guys.
why I was pointing to you because I knew that you'd be like, you guys aren't ready for this.
Right. In the NBA, you're looking at max contract values now of like close to about $70 million per year. Guys like Joel Embiid, Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani, obviously, with the biggest contract. Obviously, that's deferred money, but that's still $70 million per. Whereas in the NFL, I mean, who's making the most now? Probably somebody 50-something million, a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence or what have you. So they're a few steps behind the NBA and Major League Baseball. And then hockey is like way down low. I think Connor McDavid has one of the highest contracts, and he's making like 13-14 million.
360 bump. Why aren't the Raiders looking at Tannehill? How old is Ryan Tannehill?
They just grabbed Desmond Ridder off of a practice squad. I think Arizona's practice squad. I don't know. That's a fair question. I think he could be a good bridge quarterback. But yeah, where is he? Where is Tannehill?
At home? I don't even know.
Yeah, where is this guy?
He's made a lot of money.
Yeah, he's good. 866-979-3776. Are you guys big Trader Joe's shoppers?
My wife is.
Do you have a favorite Trader Joe's item?
Yeah, the dried mango.
I don't really go to Trader Joe's.
The
I like
dried or
all the
dehydrated?
when you go in the frozen section, the little frozen, bins that they have in Trader Joe's. Above that, where it's all the desserts and chocolates and candies, that's what mine would be. Like all the packaged cookies and stuff above the frozen food that would be my answer.
Orange chicken from the freezer section.
Yeah, that's
so
bomb.
good.
Yeah.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. If you were on Love is Blind, would you have been attracted to your significant other simply from conversation?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
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 I think so too.
That's such an important part of a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't hold a conversation with your significant other, I mean, it's gonna be rough.
I don't want to say critique about Love is Blind, but like the whole point and premise of Love is Blind, it's okay if you don't watch and don't care, but the whole point of this reality show was we're going to put people on the either side of a panel where they can't see each other, and they're going to meet for hours-long dates and see if they fall in love with each other without ever seeing each other. Every contestant is always reasonably attractive. Like, never once have they really put to the test that, like, you could really be into someone who is, like, a 2. Like, they've never had anyone walk in there where you're like, no way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I also want to say that they're not in love. They always say, I love you. You're not in love.
Absolutely not.
Not in love.
Absolutely not. All right, you guys, that will do it for Bump and Stacy. We aren't going anywhere. We're bringing on Dave Wyman. Joining us for the Huddle, a 2-hour preview beginning in just a couple minutes. Boye Mafe will join us, then Christian Haynes. We're also going to jump into a huge preview for Week 8 against the Bills. Don't go anywhere.
To talk to Daniel Jeremiah. What does that tell you when you see guys off the street succeed for a game in the NFL?
It tells me that you have a teaching staff, not just a coaching staff. I think so many times we think about coaches and we think about, being in a dark room and drawing up scheme. And at the end of the day, these players don't arrive in the NFL fully developed. That's a pretty good sign that they've got a good teaching staff there.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Stewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I can feel it. The leaves are changing. The weather's changing a little bit. Summer activities turn into fall activities. What does that mean seasonally at IRG?
Well, at IRG, there is no season. We have direct access. So what we talk about direct access, Brock, is, the summer's over, fall's coming, winter's going to be here, but there's always a good season to get into physical therapy. And when I say direct access in the state of Washington, what that means is if you get up in the morning or have a weekend where you did something and you have a sore back, for example, you do not need to get a referral from your doctor to come see a physical therapist. We can get you in, get treatment started. We know the earlier we get a patient in, the better outcomes that the patient is going to experience, and that's what it's all about, direct access. We'll take care of it for you. Call IRG, and we'll get you in.
With convenient neighborhood locations, you never have to travel far. Visit irgpt.com to get scheduled today. That's irgpt.com.
Paid political announcement. A Bob for Bob update. Public school is for other Bobs. Did you know Attorney General Bob Ferguson sends his kids to a private school while denying Washington parents opportunity scholarships to do the same? We spend $18,000 per K-12 public student in Washington, but for Bob, private education is for elites like him, not for your kids. Want a governor who doesn't believe in the public education system he promotes? Vote Bob. Paid for by the Bob for Bob Committee, 1283 Puyallup, Washington, 98371. Top 4 donors: Steve Gordon, Fremont Dock Company, Brian Haywood, and Susie Burke.
At State Roofing, you can trust us to get your project done right because we prioritize quality and excellence in everything we do. Take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest today, and don't pay until 2025. Call State Roofing at 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget, not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps, or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about the bar. Not where you get drinks. I'm talking about the bar exam. That rigorous beast that's required to practice law. You've got to pass it, but not anymore. Soon students can pass on the bar exam instead of passing it. Can you imagine unlicensed electricians burning down the house? Plumbers? Yuck. Dentists? Ouch. Fortunately, all our lawyers have passed the bar exam with flying colors. And with that comes over 300 5-star reviews, over 30 years in business, and a 90% success rate getting cases reduced or dismissed. So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. The world is changing fast. Rely on the best in the business. Bar none.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Looking for Seahawks tickets? Sign up for text notifications to receive alerts about last-minute ticket availability and offers. Simply text the word Seahawks to 71211. Go Hawks.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. This is the Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2. The Huddle.
We're going to be speaking with Boye Mafe today. Christian Haynes getting the Bills preview. You'll take a listen to some press conferences, including Gino Smith and new Seahawk Ernest Jones. We're going to first, though, take a look back at the Falcons very quickly here. We're going to be joined by Boye. And then when we get into a preview a little bit later at 12:30, we'll talk also about that Ernest Jones trade. So first, Wyman, I'll start with this one. A win, a much-needed win over the Falcons, and it was pretty dominant. What did you see from this one?
Yeah, it was a good win, man. On the road, anytime you can win by 20 points on the road, always good. Trying to kind of gauge still, like this Buffalo Bills team, how good are they? How good were the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, maybe the NFC South is a little soft. I don't know. But either way, you got 20-point win on the road, man. I mean, that's awesome. The other thing is Kirk Cousins, and then, the 3 first-round draft choices. Bijan Robinson is really good.
Baller.
Same thing with Pitts. Same thing with Drake London. So all first-rounders. That was an impressive win.
What'd you see offensively? Because it was a big day for Ken Walker, but he wasn't the only one. Gino Smith also exceptional in moments. What did you see from the offense, Bum?
I saw an offense that was pretty balanced. Yeah, your tight ends got involved. Noah Fant had himself a good day. Second game with over 60 yards. You saw big plays from DK Metcalf. You saw a receiver throw a football. You saw K9 score running the ball and catching the rock. You saw a little bit of everything. You even saw some good offensive line play. I know this O-line has been getting a lot of flack, and some of it is deserved, right? But there were times where there was enough time for Gino to step up in the pocket and do his thing. So I saw some balance, and I saw a receiver, and I told Stacey this. If you ever call a receiver double pass, the receiver's throwing the ball. He ain't going to tuck that thing. It don't matter if DK is triple coverage or not. Coverage. You are throwing that thing.
I want to ask Boye Mafe what it was like, because obviously we're speaking with Christian Haynes. He was on the field, I believe, for that one. I want to ask Boye, you're watching from the sideline as a defender. Do you see that and go, oh, cool. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just for a minute. What stood out most to me, you guys, was the turnover differential. Seattle +3 leaving this one with a fumble, 2 interceptions. In weeks 2 through 6 prior to this, they had 1 takeaway, a single fumble. That was against the New York Giants, as you guys know, returned for a touchdown by Rayshon Jenkins. It feels like that was a huge, huge difference in this one. And it feels so silly to say, well, takeaways, that's important. But, I mean, Dave, this swings a game.
Well, it's so indicative of, you look at the end of the year, the teams that have, favorable. That's how, and look, Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, if you go back over the years, look at the Patriots and the Seahawks during the run where, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, Seahawks going to the playoffs 10 of 14 years. It's that. And, it should make perfect sense, right? You're not only taking away a possession from another team, but you're gaining an extra one. So, yeah, it's just huge. And I think you start making those kinds of plays. Now, I know that Kirk Cousins did sail a couple of passes there, but there was some pretty good pressure on him. So, I feel like when you are playing confidently and you know exactly what you're doing, then, because, I always say there's 3 parts to a play. People are tired of hearing this from me probably over the last 20 years, but it's you got to get lined up. You got to execute your assignment. And then the third part of a play is go make a play, be a football player. And that's where, when you're confident in those first two, and I feel like that was the first time I saw the defense really confident, then you can start taking plays away. Then you can start thinking about coming in with a late punch or, trying to strip a ball or whatever. It comes from confidence and knowing that you executed the first two parts of the play, and that's when the turnovers start to come.
You know what's weird, Bump, is I don't know that you can plan a takeaway. It just happens. But Dave's right. The best teams typically also have the best turnover differentials. Is there something to do with energy, momentum, understanding where you need to be on defense? Like, what things can you control that can lead to those opportunities?
Exactly what my man just said. It's putting yourself in the right position. There's a design to a defense for a reason, and the defensive coordinator calls that defense in certain situations for a reason, because you're anticipating the offense is going to do something based off of their tendencies. So if you are just in the right spot and then just rallying to the football, I mean, if Derek Hall wasn't rallying to the football, he didn't scoop and score. Good things happen when you follow the football. So a lot of it is luck too. Sometimes you just get a present and you're dropping in a cover two, and I'm the flat safety. Corner, and quarterback makes a poor decision, and I'm where I'm supposed to be, so I make a play. So there's some luck involved, but there's definitely some strategy. Coordinators are trying to set their guys up to create those turnovers.
You know what I really appreciated about defense, and what was sticking with me with this one, is Bump, on Monday when we came in for the show to talk about this game, you were like, how many rushing yards? You already knew the answer, but you were like, how many rushing yards did the Seahawks give up to the Falcons? And I was like, 150, which I didn't even realize until Curtis mentioned it in his email. And you said, but did it feel like that? And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know that it felt like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think Bijan Robinson is so damn good. And, he was going to get extra leaky yards, right? But, yeah, I like what you said about the takeaways, Bump, because a lot of it is luck, but what do they say? The harder I work, the luckier I get. Yep. But some of the punches, where guys are throwing that, like, it's got to be right at the right spot. So the last thing I want to do is trip Boye Mafe right now.
Well,
so there we go.
Boye Mafe.
He's athletic enough to get over the court.
Coming off of a huge game. In fact, I'll play you guys right here a very important cut. One of those takeaways. Take a listen.
Cousins scrambles left side, gets hit, goes down, Mafe, ball comes out, ball rolling, picked up far side. It's Hall down the far sidelines. He's going to score. Touchdown, Seahawks. Derek Hall on the sack by Boye Mafe. Cousins coughs it up, and Hall goes the distance. The second-year linebacker out of Auburn. He probably has a suite full of family and friends here watching. Cousins had nowhere to go with the ball. It's knocked away from Cousins by Boye Mafe. Picked up, and Hall takes it 36 for the touchdown. The Seahawks up 30-14.
A great touchdown, obviously, by your teammate, Derek, but boy, there's no ball to recover if you don't get a sack and force that fumble. Can you walk me through the play?
Shoot. Kind of just had a game set up. I was on the inside, and as I watched the play, I saw the edges go high, and they pushed him out the pocket. So the next thing my mindset was see ball, get ball. And honestly, I thought he was going to throw it away, but, he held on to it just enough for me to get a hand on it. So appreciate that. And on top of that, I just knew I had a convoy behind me. Honestly, once I made the sack, I saw the ball
You're like,
go.
someone's scooping this.
Hopefully, I was on the ground still. I was crawling towards the ball. Then next thing you know, I saw Derek pick it up. So I said, oh, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, tell us about takeaways. Boy, we were talking about that. Like, a lot of times it's a hustle play. A lot of times it's playing confidently. Those things just kind of start, because going into that game that, we didn't have a ton of takeaways, and all of a sudden you get three. Is there a way you can describe the difference and how those happened?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had a coach in college who used to have a saying. He said, takeaways come to people who are prepared and guys who know their assignments. Guys who hustle to the ball, the ball seems to find them. Everyone says, like, guys who have a lot of picks on the air, a lot of forced fumbles, everyone says, oh, he just happens to be around the ball. No. That comes from preparation, and that comes from effort. And the biggest thing about that is, Coach always told me, he's a confident player who goes into a game knowing his job, knows his assignment. Yeah, he's going to find the ball because he knows what he's got to do and be in the right spots.
All right.
What's it like having you and D Hall? I mean, you guys, it's your third year, so you're not a rookie, but you're still a young in the game, and it feels like you finally got a partner over there. Obviously, Uchenna was a good partner too, but he's been absent for a while. Do you guys talk about just how dynamic you guys could be together off the edge?
100%. I mean, we're with each other every day when we're practicing. We're talking about how he likes to do things, how I like to do things. So, I mean, it's that understanding as we're creating that relationship of how we rush together. And his style and my style together, it's been very productive for us as a team. So, it's been nice to, have, like you said, a person to rush with, someone to have that connective relationship. And, sky's the limit for him. He has so much potential. He can be a great player in this league, and he will be. I know he will. With time and as he gets to know the game even more and more, this is just the tip of the iceberg for him.
We always heard about Mike McDonald and anyone on his coaching staff. Oh, they're big teachers. Like, they're really big on making sure guys are prepared and understanding things. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly, for me, the biggest thing I've noticed, with this staff and the guys we got in the room is they make you understand every situation. We play a lot of situational football and keying in on situations to help yourself and understanding that when you are in a certain situation, when you have things going on, you can make the game go slower for yourself. So irrespective of seeing second downs, third downs, whatever the situation is, knowing what's going to happen, what you can anticipate, and being able to play a lot faster.
So, Boye, you guys are into the Buffalo Bills study. Tell us what you see. I mean, obviously, really good quarterback in Josh Allen. By the way, do you study like the quarterbacks and like look at what they're doing and whether they're stepping up and things like how deep does that detail go as far as your film study?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I personally, as a team and everyone, your study never goes. There's never a deep enough study. You can always go deeper. So 100%, you got to look at what a quarterback does. Their tendencies, what they like to do, how they like to play the game is a big, factor of how you can rush. Some quarterbacks like to sit in the pocket. Some quarterbacks are quick to scramble. So that obviously changes your plan and how you rush them. But that is definitely a big thing that we do look at, quarterbacks, the whole O-line, how they communicate, just whatever they do, what I'm saying, it's just little things.
Last week was the first time in a while you had almost everybody in the box for your defense available. When you have everybody that is supposed to be in their positions, do you kind of see like the bigger picture of what McDonald's trying to do? Because you guys always talk about how detailed he is, but there's nothing like having, okay, all your dogs are out there. Now I can kind of see like the bigger picture of what the potential of this group is.
100%. I mean, this, like you said, it's how do I explain it? It's like, it's like playing chess with only a couple pieces.
Right.
Versus having a full chess set.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you have all your pieces, now you're able to play the game however you want to, move your players however you want to, and when you have everybody there, it's a lot more fun than playing behind, already playing with missing 3-4 pieces,
right.
Well, and there are rules to those pieces, so without the other ones, you're like, well, now this feels extra limited, that I can only move a knight this way. You mentioned the word irrespective in your previous answer. I thought, that's such a good word. I love that word. And I remembered that Bump and I, before you got here, we're talking about spelling bees, and we'd both been in spelling bees when we were younger and both lost on stupid words. Have you ever been in a spelling bee?
No, I can't say I have. I'm not big on spelling bees, but words, yeah, for sure, but no.
Is there a word that for sure, like mine is necessary and license? I don't think even as an adult now, you could catch me on one of those.
Yeah.
Like is there a word now where you're like, I know they'd get me on this one?
Oh, for sure. I don't have enough fingers to count the words that probably got me.
But a number. The S and the C. That's what does it for me.
Oh, I was the Yuba Feather Spelling Bee champion back
What?
in 1976.
Were there not as many words then? Like, what are you
Oh,
talking
dang, Stace. Let him
Boye, don't laugh at her. Don't encourage her.
I didn't laugh.
Now I
I'm
can't.
just mad. I'm upset because I feel like I was cheated out of mine. Bump spelled his word wrong confidently.
It was
Confidently?
second grade. It was Eagle.
I won on beige. How about that?
Beige?
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm tapping out of this.
Boye, I got a chance to meet your sister and your nieces and stuff like that. What do you? You're a big family guy. What do you? By the way, did you have anybody there at the game in Atlanta?
Yeah, I had some friends that live on the East Coast that came out to the game, and speaking of, my nieces are coming out for the next week, so. I am a big family guy. For me, I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. They made a lot of sacrifice for me when I was young, before I was able to do anything. So for me, just to be able to share these moments with them and have these opportunities, in this profession, you don't have a lot of time. I've missed Christmas since I was a freshman in college. I haven't been home for Christmas. So when you do have the opportunity to spend time with your family, it means a lot to me, and I try to implement that as much as I can because I know there are times when I won't be able to be there. Yeah. So anytime I do have a chance to have my family around, have my people around, I definitely try to have them there.
He is Boye Mafe. You guys are back home this Sunday against the Bills, so at least no more long road trip to the East Coast. Good luck this Sunday. We will have fun watching you guys out there, and thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You are listening to The Huddle. Don't go anywhere.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to watch the Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams November 3rd.
10-5, touchdown, Seahawks!
Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter for your chance to win.
Holy catfish!
You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter via the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day October 23rd through October 29th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
All right, guys, you looking for a fun night out? It's Mike Salk here to remind you that Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go, unwind, and have some fun, and eat some great food. Make sure to check out 12 Moons. And then Vista Prime Steaks and Seafood has the amazing happy hour menu that starts at 4 p.m. And Falls Buffet, they're serving up all your favorites like the prime rib every day, the fresh pasta, made-to-order stir-fry, noodles, pizza, salad bar, dessert bar. They make their pies every day. All with breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. It is Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown, Snoqualmie Casino. Please game responsibly.
You gotta love football season, but when it comes to your windows and doors, you don't want any fumbles. Steve Raible here, reminding you to trust locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their selection of windows and doors can't be beat, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Right now, get 0% interest for 24 months with equal payments or 40% off qualifying installs. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com.
What's one of the biggest issues when you're trying to hire a roofing contractor? Are they going to do what you hired them to do? On time, on budget? Asset Roofing knows in addition to putting the premier roofing system on your home, the most valuable things they can provide to you are communication and transparency. I encourage you to check out and see what Asset Roofing is all about. Head to AssetRoofingCo.com.
Certified work that's never in doubt. Asset Roofing, excellence is on the house.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
You know, someone asked me the other day, do you know how many devices the average home has connected to their Wi-Fi network? It is way more than I thought. So I actually went home and counted how many connected devices we own. It is more than a dozen, all to keep us connected to the good stuff. Our streaming, our gaming, all our interneting, you name it. And Xfinity knows that the number of devices we have connected to our internet is only growing by the year. And that is why, well, they engineered their gateways to handle hundreds of connected devices. Hundreds, for real. And now through October 21st, get fast, reliable 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. Make sure your home Wi-Fi can handle everything you throw at it, and then some. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to switch today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Some restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Currently, $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Make the call to 1-800-XFINITY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Seahawks Player Spotlight.
Man, it felt good to go out there and be able to contribute.
Exclusive interviews with your favorite Seahawks.
You know, we got a genius as the head coach.
Every day with Wyman and Bob.
An airliner heads for Alaska with 101 passengers and crew. Then, somewhere over the Gulf of Alaska, Flight 293 slams into the icy waters below.
Even if all 4 engines quit, it just doesn't fall out of the sky.
No bodies were recovered. Loved ones had no closure and were left to wonder.
What happened to Flight 293?
Unsolved Histories, What Happened to Flight 293 is available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
I started Davis Law Group 30 years ago with the goal of bringing the highest quality of legal representation to accident victims. Contact Washington's best personal injury team today at 206-727-4000 or visit us at davislawgroupseattle.com.
Cougs versus everybody.
Let's go. Lots of communication. Here we go. Set your mind right with the right intentions. Let's go get it.
The Cougs wrap up their October schedule on the road this Saturday at San Diego State. Kickoff is set for 7:30.
You go into any local restaurant, bar, whatever it is, you're going to see a Coug logo, and it means something to everybody here.
It's all on your home for Cougar football.
Catch the game this Saturday on AM 770 KTTH and the Seattle Sports app.
This is the Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
All right, you are listening to The Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, and Stacey Ross. Joining us right now, Seahawks offensive lineman Christian Haynes. You've played a couple weeks into the season now, but is any part of it still feeling very much like, wow, this is the NFL, it's happening?
I'll say every game, running out
Every
the tunnel.
game there's a moment?
Yeah, just embracing the moment that's going out in the tunnel. And just, I'm in the NFL and doing the national anthem and all that. Just embrace the spirit of the league.
Hey, the 20-yard touchdown run, I thought that was a particularly good block by you because you had guys start off on your right side. You kind of stayed with them and kind of take us through that block. I mean, it was big time.
Yeah, we had a combo going up to that linebacker, and me and Connor both seen the linebacker coming, so we knew he was going to blitz. So I just tried to make sure I had a proper technique, and after that, I just hit him hard, and then let K9 do the rest.
One of our colleagues, Ray Roberts, played for the Seahawks back in the day. He always talks about how linemen got to find their rhythm, and for him, it was just running the ball. How do you find your rhythm out there? Is it pass pro? Is it a gap scheme? Is it zone? Which is it?
Really just running the ball and really just, for me, finding my rhythm is getting that good play and let you know you got a good block. Sometimes it could be a pancake, and then just keep staying on the field, and then as more plays you get in the game, you start just feeling it. I don't no particular plays. I'll say for me right now, because I come in later in the games. You say we had early field goals, just getting that first contact. That's me getting the warm up for the game. But other than that, just keeping on playing. I like run plays because you come off and knock on the ball.
Yeah.
But just repetition out there, I say.
I'm a receiver, and I like the run plays too to get in rhythm. I just want to hear the pass pop. I just want to feel the game. You know?
I feel like it's just a physicality too. When Ray talks about it, he's it just gets him more jacked up. I'm sure it's great to be blocking and there's a touchdown pass. You're great, awesome, I did my job. It's probably really good to be blocking and Ken Walker runs behind you and then finds the end zone.
No, yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Because that touchdown with K9, you're just so juiced up because okay, I made that hole. Right tackle did his job too. We made a beautiful hole for him, and then it's just you embrace that.
Yeah.
Even with passes too, say they bring say they bring that blitz, you picked it up, we had a touchdown. It's just everybody doing their 1/11th on the field, and you just embrace those moments.
Yeah, that was you had Michael Jarrell on the outside on that play you were describing, and then he got his guy sealed off as well. What was kind of the conversation with you guys? Because that was a for him being a Division II guy, he's a rookie. You got two rookies starting together. You guys made the key blocks that on that play. What was that like, man? I mean, was he nervous, and were you kind of talking him through it, or did he didn't look nervous at all?
No, he was very prepared, and it was just from our practice habits going in, like blocking a lot of like doing like practice squad reps, blocking like our defensive line, then going in and like we were coming in early, watch different run game stuff. It's okay, how should I have my feet here, and then how should I block him here? So when we both went in the game, we were very well prepared. And I told him like pressure is only what you feel when you don't know what you're doing. And, like you know what you're doing, so you don't have to feel no pressure out there. Just go out there and play free. So
good advice.
They do a good job of taking care of your bodies in the NFL. In college, I bet it was a bit different. You pads on every day. You're going after it. How you liking that transition so far?
It's been good. It's been really good. These last 2 years for me, because I had an NFL coach these last 2 years in Jim Mora. So we have kind of like the same practice schedule. So like we have like full pads, and then we go to spiders, and then eventually into helmets. But I have like a similar like concept, but my first like 4 years in school, pads every day, and it's just a grind. But nah, just making sure like you can recover your body, and like you put in the hours and like the tubs and sauna, different things that just get you right for Sunday. I embrace it. Yep.
We're letting you go here, just keeping you for a couple minutes. I will let you know, though, as we kick you out of here so you can get back to work. Bump and I had Jim on the show, and we asked him about you when you were drafted. That might be the most glowingly I've ever heard. Yeah. We've had, head coaches are always really proud when their players get drafted, so it's not like he's the only one, but he was just glowing review of you, like could not stop gushing about how great you were. So we even had listeners texting like, I'm so excited about this guy. I had to let you know that we did have him on, and he was ecstatic to be able to talk about you. So, all right, Christian, we're going to let you go. You got a busy week ahead of you and a big opponent this Sunday. Good luck on Sunday against the Bills. You are listening to The Huddle. Don't go anywhere.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Seahawks with a huge win on the road. Guy that played a big part in that is cornerback Nehemiah Pritchett. How much does going up against guys like Tyler Lockett and JSN and DK Metcalf get you prepared for what you're going to face out there on the field?
Lockett's the vet. All the tricks. You just learn a lot going against Locke. DK, he's a more physical receiver, super fast, with good hands. And JSN just a mixture of both, so it definitely helps you prepare for Sunday.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
At Sound Pain Solutions, some of the most difficult cases we see are patients suffering from failed back surgery syndrome. Bill is an avid golfer, but his pain got so bad he couldn't play and was considering surgery.
My back was killing me. I could not play any more golf. I could not walk more than half a block. I did not want surgery on my back, and I researched many different ways of getting this fixed. Behind that was horror stories from my friends who had back surgery, but it wasn't worth it, and I just made conclusion to that. There's got to be another way.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We were able to get Bill back on the course without the risk of surgery. We did this using non-invasive, FDA-cleared procedures like non-surgical decompression, laser, pressure wave, and bioelectrical treatments. Now, Bill is back to playing golf and enjoying life. Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatment by calling Sound Pain Solutions or visiting soundpainsolutions.com.
Can't fix everything for everybody, but you can be there and listen and try to help with what you can. You're there to support them, and that's the best that you can do.
Justin Meek. He's the leader and caretaker of the 380 people who consider Lee Johnson their home.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us. My wife and 3 kids in the house, there's always something wrong with somebody at all times. And if there isn't, then something's wrong. When you have 388 employees, there's never a day that everything is good everywhere. You have to be okay with that. You have to look at that as opportunities to gain a better relationship with people and help them through what they're going through.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Keep your business connected with Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi backup. Or get started with reliable internet and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
For many of us, it's happening. Your hair is thinning, your crown is disappearing. Hair loss had me feeling like I was losing my identity altogether. Well, I've got some good news. It's a simple one-day treatment that worked for me. The Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. It starts growing new hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly memberships. Those can help retain what you have. But what if you want your own natural hair in specific areas like I did? You decide how much, how thick, and where. From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to the world-class leading doctors like Dr. Parango, it's not a maybe your hair will grow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 425-449-8185. Advanced Hair is the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and they are the team that I personally recommend. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Watch your favorite show live at seattlesports.com.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. I'm a 5th-generation Pacific Northwesterner, graduated from UW and Seattle U School of Law. At Warrior Injury Law, we have years of experience in the trenches, fighting insurance companies for the people of Washington, my people. If you've been injured, you need a lawyer that is tough, confident, and battle-tested. Call us at 253-WARRIOR for your free case review. Warrior Injury Law. Battle-tested.
Eddie's! When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do 2 things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey Seahawks fans, Tyler Lockett for Brown Bear Car Wash. We've got the perfect play for a spotless car. With the Unlimited Wash Club, you can keep your car game ready all season long. It isn't clean unless it's Brown Bear clean.
This is the Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2
on Seattle Sports.
You are listening to The Huddle. Let's begin a look ahead to Week 8. Seahawks taking on the Bills Sunday here at Lumen Field. The Bills are 5-2 entering this one. Josh Allen off to a solid start to the season. No interceptions thrown. Wyman, when you look at the Bills, and especially who the Bills have beaten and lost to, what do you see in terms of the strength of the team that's coming in here?
Yeah, maybe this isn't the greatest way to look at it, but, you know, when you look at, okay, they beat the Cardinals at home, 34-28. I mean, that was the game where DJ Dallas returned the kickoff there, and then they went to the Dolphins, and they beat them 31-10. That's a good win down there. I think that was the game where Tua went out, I think, on that hit.
Yeah.
And that, you know, they beat the Jaguars. They beat the Jets. They beat the Titans, who are 1-5. So I don't know. You could make the case. I mean, they lost to the Ravens 35-10. They lost at Houston 23-20, which is a close game. Houston's a pretty good team. So I don't know. I think this will be an interesting one. I think to see, this is a 5-2 team. I heard somebody today say they thought the Bills were a Super Bowl team. I'm not convinced of that just yet, but I don't know. This is one I could see them winning. The Seahawks. I feel like this is going to be a good matchup for them, and especially getting ready to go into sort of the heart of the NFC West schedule.
Bump, I'll be honest, I feel more and more, I don't want to say confident, but excited, like Dave said, about this matchup and optimistic about this matchup. However, as each day passes and DK Metcalf doesn't practice, I am less and less convinced he'll play. Let's assume he doesn't. Let's say the Seahawks are without DK Metcalf on Sunday. What's it mean for the offense? What do they lose, and then who might step up?
It means you're losing the most explosive player on the field other than maybe Ken Walker. I mean, those guys are liable to turn a 20-yard play into a 50-60-yard touchdown. So who's going to step up? A lot of people are asking for Jake Bobo. Love me some Jake Bobo, but I think that if you want to replace an explosive player, you got to go with the next explosive, and that's probably Laviska Shenault. I still think that Jake Boble is going to see more time. Laviska will see more time. We'll see if Reek Young is a healthy scratch or not. He might get some more time as well. But it's time for JSN to put together another game, I think. He had a 12-catch, 100-yard game earlier in the season for a touchdown. He's been quiet a little bit. He does lead the team in receptions with 37, but he's only averaging about 8 or 9 yards per catch. That's not his fault. It's just how he's being used in the offense. So naturally, when a guy like DK isn't available, and we're assuming he's not going to be available, he still might be available, you look at the next best receiver, and it could be Lockett, but I would assume that the guy who is second on the team in targets and first in receptions will probably get a few more looks.
Hey, Dave, let's talk a bit more about the Bills' defense. They're kind of average when it comes to yards allowed. They're better against the pass than the run, but they're not exceptional with either. However, they are top 10 in limiting scoring. Are they just good in the red zone? Have they gotten lucky? Are they benefiting from takeaways? I mean, what does the defense manage to do to teams are running on them? They're still able to pass, but they're averaging less than 20 points per game.
Yeah. I thought that was one of the most brilliant descriptions of takeaway and what your mentality is when you take the ball away that we just heard from Boye Mafe. And yeah, they're plus 10.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is. And, again, the obvious, you're taking away a possession. The other thing is when you get the possession, and I haven't looked to see, what happens on the next play, but, we always talk about sudden change, that when a defense, and I've been part of it, like the ball gets taken away and all of a sudden, you got to go on defense right away. 1992, it happened all the time. So now you got to run out there and, hurry up. And a lot of times they'll go tempo, hurry up. And, and all of a sudden you're not ready. I mean, at one moment you're sitting on the bench having a Gatorade, and then the next moment you're out on the field. So it's a great opportunity. I'm a huge, take a shot on the first play when you get a takeaway. And I'm not so sure that Buffalo has necessarily done that, but I mean, man, you look at the plus 10. I don't think they're propped up on the turnover ratio. I think that's one of the reasons why they're good. But I just went through their schedule and I mean, it makes those games pretty easy when you're plus 10.
Yeah. Josh Allen is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league. 39 rushing touchdowns since 2020, which is more than Lamar Jackson. Lamar has more of everything else, rushing attempts, yards, everything else. But Josh Allen obviously knows how to score, running it in, especially in the red zone. So, Bump, we already know part of the story is going to be how do you combat Josh Allen? But Josh Allen can also make mistakes. He hasn't thrown a pick this year. Do you think this is a passing defense? Do you think these are defensive backs who could change that? Yeah, I think there are, because of what's happening in front of them, because this defensive line is getting healthy and guys are performing. You bring over Roy Robertson and Murphy's looking good. Cat is still playing. We just talked to Mafe and D Hall are doing good. It's the reason why most of the time guys in the back end get a lot of picks is because the guys up front are forcing the quarterback to rush the football or make a poor decision because he feels that pressure. I'm going to look at the back end, and I love it, man. I think my bold prediction yesterday was, or was it today, that Kobe Bryant gets a pick. Earlier today, yeah. Kobe Bryant gets a pick. 2 games in a row, he's going to get a pick. Why? Because Dave, we were talking about just getting to the football and good things happen. Kobe Bryant played with an enthusiasm last week that I haven't seen in the back end since the first game when Jenkins comes downhill and makes a big play. Yeah. So, I think they're good to go on the back end, and I believe in the back end because I like what's happening in front of them.
Do you guys feel like Kobe Bryant is just kind of, I felt like last year he got sort of passed by. Yep. It was passed weird. Over. Yeah, it was weird because his rookie year, he had, I was talking to somebody about this. If he had 1 forced fumble or 2, maybe it's lucky. He had 4 his rookie year, and he plays inside. He can play anywhere. I was surprised to hear, I think you guys were talking about how it was the first time he started at safety. Mm-hmm. I mean, why? Do you think it's because why isn't he on the field? To nickel? I don't know. I've wondered the same thing. Yeah, I think it's Witherspoon, and then you got Reek and Quandre and Jamal were here for a while. I don't know. Those are the type of things that the questions that we never have answers to. We just got to assume, right? Yeah. And whenever a guy isn't getting playing time, my first question is, all right, what's Monday through Friday like for him? What isn't he doing, or what do they think this other guy does better? Because I was baffled the way that Kobe Bryant was just passed up, like you mentioned. All right. I only have a minute left here. Dave, you'll probably get the last word on this one.
in addition to Josh Allen's running ability, the Bills' willingness to run the ball and willingness to be a little stubborn with it does make me a little bit nervous. We know that against the Falcons, and we talked about it earlier, it didn't quite feel like 150 allowed. It felt like the running defense improved. Did you see that improvement in the second half, and what did you see there?
Yeah, it was a little bit better. I felt like guys were a little bit more holding their ground. I think that's going to get markedly better with the trade for Jones. So, but I'm hoping and I think that was what the intent was for that. But you're right, it didn't feel like that. And then you look at Josh Allen, and he is a really good runner, and he's a big dude, and he's yet to throw an interception, I think. So, I think that's part of it, that he's probably going to want to run. So that's a tough one, too, because that gets a load. You're out back in your zone. All of a sudden, he takes off running. Do you run up there and go, I'm going to tackle him like a running back? Or, do I get run over? I know nobody wants to get run over by a quarterback. And then, you're trying to balance all that with the penalties that go with, tackling a quarterback. So I think it's kind of an interesting. I think he's taken advantage. I don't think he's doing the little slide thing. Mahomes does that a lot.
Tiptoe.
Yeah, does the tiptoe thing, or at the last second I'm gonna, take advantage of all the penalties. But I would say this: I'll take the penalty because I don't want to get run over by a quarterback.
Dave mentioned Ernest Jones as part of his answer. You guys will hear for the first time from the newest Seahawk coming up at 1. Before then, you're going to hear from another pretty important Seahawk, Gino Smith, speaking with reporters next.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Roof now, pay later. Hi, I'm Sam Thomason, owner of State Roofing. Take advantage of our 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to a year. We've partnered with leading lenders to make the replacement or repair of your roof affordable. Flexible financing options are available to take the worry out of an unexpected expense. Call us today at 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule a free no-obligation estimate or visit us at stateroofing.com. That's stateroofing.com.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Don't waste time trying to get rid of your old or broken down car. Cars for Kids is the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K. carsforkids.org.
At Shane Company, we believe everybody is made to shine. So put on earrings that make you sparkle, diamonds that light up the room, a modern heirloom you'll treasure. We're all made to shine. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Don't let sinus problems, snoring, and allergies hold you back. I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatment to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get the relief you need easily, quickly, and permanently. Come see us in Federal Way and Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
The Seahawks are coming off a big win against Atlanta, getting ready for a huge matchup against the Bills here at home. Let's take a listen to what Gino Smith said to reporters.
I think the most notable impact was just the overall morale. You know, obviously coming off of, those losses, we needed to start fast to kind of get our energy going, and I thought we did a great job at that. Throughout the game, I felt like we sustained our energy. You can see it all over the tape, man. Guys are just giving extra effort, and that's something that we really been talking about. And so, we want to continue to build on that and keep getting better each week.
What does that open up in the playbook? I mean, I think it's obvious, but what does that open up in the playbook? How many different things do you get to as a result of that?
Yeah, you saw the double pass with Jackson. It gives you an opportunity to get some of those off the call sheet, and most importantly, it just gives us that boost that we need, that morale. It allows us to go out there and play fast, get the O-line going, get those guys really rolling off the ball, and I think whenever they're playing the way they did, our offense is going to be extremely tough to beat. So just starting early, starting fast, and then keeping that momentum, I think, is a huge thing for us, and we got to continue that.
How would you rate his quarterback decision-making on that play? Looked like that might have had some coverage.
Yeah, it worked out for him. I can't do that. I wouldn't throw that pass, but when you're a receiver and you get that opportunity, you got to take that shot. So I was really happy for him, and I thought it was a really good pass in that moment right there.
Does that mean he was at quarterback meetings this week?
He should be, because his decision-making probably a little off, but he's got more important things to worry about as a receiver. So.
What have you seen from him as a receiver developing from year one to year two? Because we've seen him have some huge games this year and some quiet games. But Coach McDonald said he feels like he always feels JSN out there.
Yeah, he's outstanding. I think JSN is such a special player, and when he's on the field, like you said, like Coach said, you feel him out there. Whether it's blocking, whether it's running a route and he's getting double teamed and opening it up for another guy, or catching the ball and making explosive plays. I think he can do it all. You even saw him throw the ball. So when he's out there, he's going to continue to make plays. What I see from him is a relentless work ethic. I think the way that he prepares, the way that he works is outstanding. You guys don't get to see him every day in practice, but, he's just the same guy every single day. And so for a young guy to be building on that and to be, really pushing himself in that way, it's only going to make him better. And so, for me, I just got to continue to help him harness it and continue to push him to be the best he can be.
Mike Terrell got his first start. You guys have been playing rookies on the line. Charles Cross is younger than the rookies, even though he's been in there for a couple of years. Can you talk about the role of Connor Williams coming in as a veteran in the middle of that line and what that's meant?
Yeah, man, Connor's meant everything to us. Since we've gotten him, he's been the consummate professional. The way that he approaches the game every single day, his demeanor, his want to, those are the things that, really permeates through the locker room, and it rubs off on everybody. And so, for Connor to come in the way that he has and to pick up the offense, in only a matter of weeks, he's still growing, he's still learning. We're still working together, still learning one another, but he's been outstanding. His demeanor, the way that he approaches the ball, the way he takes the ball, obviously he's got to go out there. He's got a tough job, right? You got to block, these big dudes out there, and you got to make room for Kenneth and, make space for me to get the ball off. But I think overall, man, he's led that group, and they're only going to continue to get better with him at the helm.
We've seen a few times this year where Tyler Lockett maybe doesn't have a big game statistically, but comes up in a big moment, the third down late in the Denver game, then the 2-minute drive last week. What about him? Is he kind of always available in those moments?
Yeah, I think Tyler is just how poised he is, right? He's steady. He's been that way throughout his entire life, throughout his entire career. And so he's never going to change. His demeanor's not going to change, whether he gets, 10 targets in the game or he gets 5 or he gets 3. He's going to run his routes the same way. He's going to give maximum effort. He's going to be the consummate leader that we need. He's going to bring the right energy and the right approach to the huddle. And when his time's called, when his numbers gets called, he makes the play every single time. And we know just how special he is and the work that he's put in. A lot of stuff behind the scenes to make sure his body's ready. And shoot, man, like he's one of my best friends. And I just want to continue to throw him the ball. I got to throw it to him more if I can. But I know I can always count on him, and he's always going to be there.
As a quarterback in those moments, whether it's like a late third down or a 2-minute drive? In your head, are you thinking like Tyler's going to be available for this situation?
Yeah, I mean, we got so many, great guys that it makes my job that much easier. I just got to go out there and let the defense dictate where the ball goes. But a lot of times, man, it comes down to it being Tyler, and he's always in the right spot. He always, makes the catch. He gets his toes in bounds when he needs to, and he's even out there making blocks, man. He's doing it all. So I think Tyler is going to continue to get better. We're growing as an offense. Like, he's not, reached his peak yet. I think he's still got more life in him, and, he's showing us that.
You know, the 12s make an impact in the game, but what makes them different from other fan bases?
Shoot, super rowdy, super loud. I really, like, when I was on other teams and I would watch Seattle, man, you just kind of envy the way there's a connection that you can see between the fans and the players and the entire organization. And I think, when you talk about the 12s, they're a part of the team. And so we're all connected out there. When we're out there in our home crowd, man, like we're talking about it all week, defending our turf. And we want to make our fans proud. We want to make them happy, give them something to cheer for. But they're going to be excited. They're going to be loud. We know that. And they make it tough on the opponent. You get false starts. You get, a lot of, delay of games simply because of how loud they are when we're out there.
What stands out to you about the challenge of Buffalo's defense?
I think they're going to be one of the better defenses we've faced so far. Just the way they play sound football, they're connected, they communicate well. Their strength is their D-line, a bunch of first-rounders up front, a lot of very active guys up front who can really get after it. And so it's going to be another challenge for us. But, when you watch their defense, man, like they just play all 11 as one. They keep it in front of them, don't let you get the big plays that make you, matriculate the ball down the field. And, they force you to make mistakes. They believe in their offense, right? So they think they know they're going to score points and feel like they're going to put the pressure on your offense to, go out there and try to make plays. And so if we be patient and we do the right things, we win on the early downs, we take care of, the penalties and not having turnovers, we put ourselves in a good position to make plays.
What do you know about Ernest Jones from the times you played against him?
Man, great player. Great player, flying around. He was the leader on that defense, even when he was, young, just stepping in. Obviously a Super Bowl winner. He's got the right stuff, man. But, I know Mike is excited to have him. I think our guys are excited to have him. And, I know I am just from playing against him, man. He's always a problem out there. And so to have him on our side, I look forward to what he's going to do.
When a team you're on makes a trade mid-season, how do players typically find out about it? How does word spread around the locker room?
Coach told us in the meeting. Obviously, like I said, Jerome Baker's been a guy who, I've known for a while, and I've seen the way he's worked his butt off and, obviously got back healthy and was able to go out there and contribute to the team. But this is sometimes a part of the business, and hopefully it works out for both guys. But, Coach told us in the meeting and just kind of moved on from there.
When you see your team go out and add a couple players in trade during the season to try to make you guys better, is there kind of a sense in the locker room about, they're investing in us or, they see potential in us and trying to move forward? And do you guys kind of feel that when those sorts of things happen?
Yeah, we've always felt that. I think that's the great part of being here in Seattle and of being a part of this organization is, even when Pete was the coach, always compete, right? Like we're always striving to do whatever it takes to get better. And that goes for everybody in the building. And so I think when you look at it, I've always felt like that's been the case. And, I think these moves are no different than what we've always done.
You continue to be one of the most accurate passers in the NFL. When you have a game where you miss a couple throws, what are typically the reasons you found and what are ways you get back into rhythm?
Yeah, there can be multiple, reasons for missing throws. I think, the one I can think of is the one to Jackson crossing route against San Fran where, I kind of sailed the ball a little high, was changing my arm angle on that one, trying to get it around somebody and, I missed it. So, maybe I could have, taken a different approach, thrown it from the top and wouldn't have missed that throw. But honestly, man, like it's human error. Those things happen. I mean, no one's perfect. And so I think every single quarterback who's played has missed a throw. But you just got to be confident in your preparation, understand that, if you are accurate, you'll hit most of those and, just kind of wipe it out of your memory and keep going.
Do you look forward to these opportunities to trade throws with other quarterbacks that are known as, among the best in the NFL?
Yeah, hopefully they don't complete a pass. That's really the goal. But, if it comes down to it, I feel like I've been in shootouts my entire life. And, those moments I thrive. But, we want to go out there and we want to stop them on defense and,
let our offense go over there and take control. And we complete all the passes and they don't.
What do you see in Josh Allen?
as a quarterback when you get a chance to watch him?
Spectacular playmaker, dual threat, a guy who's got a big arm, can throw it a mile. He's very accurate. He's gutsy. He'll make throws that a lot of guys won't attempt. And then he's hard to bring down in space. To be that, big in size and to run the way that he runs, he presents challenges for defenses. And you can see how much passion he has for the game. He rarely slides. He's going to try and, run you over if you can, if you're a defender. So guys have got to be ready for that. But, I see an outstanding player and a great opponent.
Gino, can you, when you come flush out of the pocket, can you talk about the importance of your receivers having the awareness of where to go in that space for you to find them?
Yeah, that's extremely important. Scramble drill is something that we rep and we talk about, and it's the second play, right? There's a play, and sometimes they cover it, or a guy may get beat up front, and you got to flush out of the pocket, and then there becomes a second play. And I think we got some of the best guys at that. Tyler Lockett's been, throughout his career, he's been outstanding at that. DK as well, and so all of our guys are good at finding space. Jackson, I've found him a few times on some scrambles, and he's been doing a great job at finding space. So I think all of our guys are, just really playing together and understanding, each other. And if I break the pocket, they know where to go, and I know where to find them.
All right, coming up after the break, you can hear from Ernest Jones for the very first time. Don't go anywhere. This is The Huddle.
It's Hall down the far sideline. He's going to score. Derek Hall on the sack by Boye Mafe.
After a win on the road, the division-leading Seahawks are ready for action.
Jackson Smith and Jigba now makes the catch, stops, going to throw deep down the far side. DK, what a catch!
This Sunday, the Hawks host Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at Lumen Field.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III.
Kickoff 105. Pre-game coverage starting at 10 on your home for the Hawks, Seattle Sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, president and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And Shannon, we're not just rehabbing injuries anymore. Now we're in the business of speed and performance. Talk to me.
Yeah, Brock, we're really excited. We just opened up our IRG Physical Therapy and Sports Institute in Fremont. It's 5,000 square feet of AstroTurf rubberized flooring. We're not only going to treat your physical therapy conditions, but we're also going to help you as a patient athlete, a recreational athlete, work on strength, speed, explosion, vertical explosion, horizontal explosion. I mean, we're going to create an athlete out of you and get you back to activity at your best.
What was the genesis of this?
Oh, there's a huge need out there. I mean, you talk to people and you start looking at patients that are going through rehab. Rehab is just part of the process, getting people to a point, but then the next point is really doing the strength and function explosion and the athletic training skills that everybody wants and needs.
Schedule online right now at irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and we got some exciting news at the station. Riverside Roofing and 710 have renewed our partnership into a deal that will carry us into our 8th calendar year working together. A big thank you to Don, Brandon, Jordan. Not only are those guys terrific roofers and businessmen, but even better people. And I've been fortunate to get to know them, text them back and forth, playing golf together. Just truly awesome people. And all that matters when choosing who you want to work with. People want to work with people they like. And most importantly, they want to work with people they can trust. And that's Riverside Roofing. You've heard me say it for years now, and you'll continue to hear it for a whole lot longer because it's true and it works. We've had people text into the show. They say, Salk, you told me I could trust them, and you were right. If you have an upcoming roof replacement, they need to be your first call. Again, big thank you and congratulations to Riverside Roofing. You can find them at riversideroofingllc.com, and they are the roofing company you can trust. That's riversideroofingllc.com.
You know, someone asked me the other day, do you know how many devices the average home has connected to their Wi-Fi network? It is way more than I thought. So I actually went home and counted how many connected devices we own. It is more than a dozen, all to keep us connected to the good stuff, our streaming, our gaming, all our interneting, you name it. And Xfinity knows that the number of devices we have connected to our internet is only growing by the year. And that is why, well, they engineered their gateways to handle hundreds of connected devices. Hundreds, for real. And now through October 21st, get fast, reliable 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. Make sure your home Wi-Fi can handle everything you throw at it, and then some. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to switch today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Some restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Currently, $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Make the call to 1-800-XFINITY.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. This is the Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2. The Huddle.
Welcome back to the Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, and Stacey Ross. He was just acquired via trade earlier this week. Let's take a listen to the newest Seahawk, Ernest Jones.
Funny story, I was talking to Coach earlier, and, you know, being in L.A., a lot of those guys don't like the Niners. That's their big rivalry. For me, every time we play Seattle, that was my rivalry. But it's good to finally be on the other side, be on the good side. So I'm excited.
Is there one thing that made it your rivalry?
I think just because it's always just tough. It's just real competitive between those teams. And, you know, those games were always pretty close. So it got really, really, really excited in there.
Okay, so now what do you appreciate about being on this defense?
Oh, everything. The guys up front, the guys I'm playing next to. I'm excited about, you know, just adding, you know, what I bring to this game and to this defense and you know, seeing where we go from here. So, yeah, just looking forward to getting to go out there against Buffalo this week.
How did you find out about the trade, and what was your reaction?
Yesterday, after meetings, they brought me into the room. GM told me, you know, that I was getting traded to Seattle. For me, being traded twice, you know, it was a little shocker at first. But honestly, I'm thankful for the opportunity that God has given me. I'm getting to come to an organization that, one, wants to win, loves to win. They got the pieces right now to win. So I'm excited to just add my talents to that.
What have this last 3 months been like for you, from, you know, starting in camp with the Rams and getting traded to Tennessee, and now you're here? It's
just been a whirlwind. You know, we just typical what it's like, I guess, to get traded but you get traded twice. So just been a little whirlwind, just trying to, you know, piece everything together, whatever team I'm on, making sure I'm ahead of the playbook and doing my job. So, yeah, that's what it's been like for me, just working constantly.
Given the similarities between what Tennessee does and what they're doing here, is it going to be a pretty quick transition for you?
Yeah, it's going to be really quick. We get out there on the field today, you know, just run
run around, mess up a couple things, and then correct it later and see what they want to, how they want to see it versus what we had in Tennessee. And then, we'll go out there, play a game Sunday, and, figure things out from there.
It's unusual you would be playing the same team back-to-back
That's
weeks.
crazy.
Does that also maybe help with the transition, or is it boring to watch film again?
I think it definitely helps with the transition. You got a great idea of what they're going to come out there and do. You just played them a couple days ago, so you're familiar with them. They're also familiar with you. So, correct some wrongs that I, had in that game, and then go out there and, help this team win.
Can you ever think of a time you played the same team 2 weeks in a row? Back to high school or
Never.
anything?
Never. I played Christian McCaffrey 2 weeks in a row, though, when he was with Carolina, then he got traded to San Fran. So I've seen it. Just didn't know it was going to be me.
You played with Bobby Wagner a year down in L.A.
Yes.
Did you talk to him at all about Seattle? You've been in contact with him since?
Oh, yeah. Him and Quandre, man, they love this place. This is their forever home. Talking with Bobby, he's excited. He says, I'm going to love it here. And I feel just that way. And Quandre was super excited for me. Hated to, see us go because we started building a great relationship. But he was excited to know this is a great place.
Because of Bobby just coming in here playing middle linebacker for this team, feel like that's a pretty special spot?
Definitely. Bobby's one of the greatest in my books. He's a walking gold jacket right now. So, I want to come in. I want to live up to that height and surpass it.
Ernest, what is it like when just your life gets uprooted and you got to go from one place to another?
Mentally, it's just a mental battle. Just for me, we have a 3-month-old son, so the whole time I'm just thinking about my son and my wife. I'm sitting on that plane, I don't want to put them through this again. So even though, getting traded, wasn't always on me, but I'm ready to go play football so I can go out here and show not only the Seahawks, but show that I am what I say I am.
What are you? Are they coming with you?
I'm a dog. That's what you're getting. Getting a dog, getting somebody that's a leader, true leader. I'm going to go out there each and every week, put my body on the line for my teammates, for this organization, and my family. So.
Not to look ahead, but then you get the Rams the week after this. I don't know if you noticed that already here.
I did. That's the first thing I noticed. I noticed that y'all didn't play them, so I get them twice, too. So I'm excited. No bad feelings, no hard feelings there. I just want to go out there and play really good, though.
What is your son's name?
Ernest. He's the 5th.
Are they joining you? Are they staying back in
They came up with me yesterday. So got in last night, around 12. And I've been up studying that playbook, trying to get myself ready for today and go out there, practice, get some rest when I crash.
Was Tennessee using you similarly to the Rams in the middle, and or is it different?
It was different. A lot of those sets, in the Rams, they do a lot of stuff where they load one side, I get the running back one-on-ones. Wasn't too much of that there. But, yeah, it was used to blitz, used to, take up, spaces, take up guards or whatever the case may be.
What was it like your rookie year, kind of starting at the end and then the Super Bowl and all that? What was that?
That's insane. I still to this day can't even put that in words. To come in, work your way into a starting role, get injured, then come back for the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl and to win it, it's insane. To this day, I can't even watch the game anymore because it's like, did we win this game or whatever, so.
Aaron Donald said that the Rams were your defense now when he retired, and you're 2 teams later now.
Yeah.
Like, you want this to be your team? And
I do. I'd love to be in Seattle. My wife's happy. She's back into where there's a little city vibe, so she's happy. I'm good, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to be on this team for the long haul. If that's where they see me and fitting in. From there, we work out everything else.
What have you noticed about the Seahawks defense? Have you had a chance to look at the players, or do you know any of the players? You played with any of them before?
I'm playing them in the conference. They're always a tough group. You're gonna get their best. They're gonna be well coached. And I'm excited to be on the other side of another good team, one that's well coached. A lot of players on this team, they want to go hunt, so I fit in well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ernest Jones, happy to be in Seattle beginning this week. He'll be playing on Sunday. Very cool to hear that press conference. Ton of insight, too, to the Bills. Let's talk about how we feel about having Ernest here. Wyman, I'll start with you. What did you think about the trade? Did you like it?
I loved it. Look, I don't want to sit and rip Jerome Baker. I think he just developed, as I was watching him, I was thinking finesse player. He's a finesse player. And when I look at Ernest Jones, I see somebody that's more of a hammer. And then, people were asking, well, what about Dodson? I'm like, well, I played both positions. So if you're the Mike, number one, you need to be more physical. And I think that Ernest Jones definitely is. And then, the other thing is, you're sort of the responsibility guy. And then, the guy who plays the will, not taking on as many blocks, usually teams don't run it to the weak side. But also a lot of times you're unaccounted for on plays away, and you can just fly around and make plays. And if you have good speed, like I did in 88 and 89, those were the only 2 years, you can run around and make a bunch of plays. And those were the years where I had my best statistical years. Actually, my first year in Denver. But, but I liked the Mike, too, because, you had all the responsibility, and it really got you focused into the game. And I feel like, those are two different positions, even though they both play inside. And so, but, we need to see it, right? We need to see him smash a guard, because that's what needs to happen right now. As far as stopping the run, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And I think he's going to help with that.
Bump, kind of last 30 seconds here, but Wyman mentioned really, what he saw on tape from Ernest the player. What do you think about the move of the front office, the second trade they've made? Do you think there's a type of aggression, maybe going for the division, that's happening here?
They're addressing weaknesses, and that's their job, is to equip Mike McDonald and Dirty and everyone else involved with the pieces they need to have the most success. And they're not done. It's not all going to be fixed this year. It's going to go into the offseason, and we'll see if they make another trade or not. But that's their role in the front office. What do you need, Mike? All right, cool. We'll go out there and try to find you one of those. And I think that's what they did with Ernest.
Bump mentioned, we'll see if there's another move. That deadline, November 5th. For now, you guys will see the newest Seahawk, Ernest Jones, on Sunday. Coming up next, voice of the Seahawks, Steve Raible, joins us.
Seattle Sports, your home for Brock and Salk.
You go back to having Joe Buck on. Remember, I asked Joe, hey, what does Troy really say about Gino? And he says, this dude absolutely can rip it. Honestly, have you seen a wobbly pass from Gino Smith this year?
No.
Tight spiral lasers all over the field. But just that little bounce around, step up into the pocket. He's done some real damage. He did it to the Lions. He did it on the road last week. And hopefully he can do the same against the Bills on Sunday with the #1 crew in all the land calling the game.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Right now at Les Schwab, it's the deal you've been waiting for. The Score More sales event. Save up to $160 instantly on a wide selection of 4 tires and 4 wheels. Plus, every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just one more way you'll get more from less. Stop by the store or find your tires at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good? Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Keep your business connected with Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi backup. Or get started with reliable internet and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of. And they enjoy being a part of it because they're getting great service. They're talking with somebody that actually they feel cares about them. They care about what their impression is going to be walking away. It's also understanding you're now part of our family, and thank you for doing the business with us. And this is how we're going to show our appreciation through customer service. We're going to show our appreciation with taking care of you if you ever have an issue. Majority of the people that are coming to see us are within our community. These are people who are providing maybe services that we also use in our community. So the LJ way, to me, somebody can come into a retail setting and not feel like they got to have their guard up. And that's been a long-standing thing in the car business that, we've tried to shake.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This is Stacey Rost. Is that leaky faucet driving you crazy? Don't wait until it becomes a flood. Call Ben's Plumbing, Heating, and Air. At Ben's Plumbing, they pride themselves on 5-star service, where your satisfaction is their priority. Whether it's a stubborn clog or a complete plumbing overhaul, their team of dedicated professionals is here to help with no commission sales tactics. Just honest, reliable service you can count on. Call today at 206-789-5353 or visit Ben's.plumbing. That's Ben's.plumbing.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
The Mike McDonald Show. The first word from the head coach after every Seahawks game.
We want to play a certain way, and you're just going to chisel away at it every day.
Presented by Emerald Queen Casino.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is the Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2
on Seattle Sports.
You are listening to The Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, Stacey Rost, and joining us now, the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Raible. Rabes, how's it going?
Well, it's going great. I'm literally just walking out of a luncheon that I just emceed. Not that you need to know this, but our keynote speaker was our buddy Ray Roberts. It was for Evergreen Health Hospice, and he is so good. Holy smokes.
I'd love you guys doing work out there. That's awesome.
Well, Ray was terrific. I just kind of came and was kind of the dummy who said, okay, sit, stand, talk. But Ray was the one who did all the work. So anyway, let's talk football, shall we?
Shout out to Ray Roberts.
It's awesome to hear.
Yeah, shout out to Ray while we're at it. Rabes, I'm going to start with a trade. We just heard from Ernest Jones, who spoke with reporters for the first time. Really likable guy. Lots of really good insight, and excited to see him on Sunday. What did you like about this trade?
Well, let me first say that I've never met a likable linebacker. So let me just put that out there right now.
No, that's
well, come on, there's got to be one.
No, I don't think you're wrong there, Raible.
Michael Jackson.
Bobby Wagner.
The singer.
KJ, very likable.
The singer, yeah. I think it's, well, we're not as I joke with Dave, but as two guys who kind of know football a little bit and who, spent a lot of time looking at game film and all that, we're not in the meetings. We don't know kind of what's going on and what the thinking is and who is, really doing the great job and who maybe is not doing quite the job. And I just sort of looked at this as, just as Mike said, and I think John will say the same thing when I talk to him on Sunday, this was just a chance to kind of get a little bit better at a position and do it for not a huge investment. Granted, this is a guy that you have an opportunity to sign later on to maybe a bigger contract, but I remember him with the Rams, and all he has done in his short career is make plays, and he's still young, and he looks like he's got a lot of mean to him. So I think it's going to be a pretty good deal, and he already pretty much knows the system. So what's not to like?
Yeah, and Rabes, I think it also kind of shows that how aggressive Mike Macdonald is going to be, right? I mean, I think people like that. You address, well, first of all, I mean, offensive line is probably, the number one, and you kind of address that like, okay, we're going to play rookies, whether they went to Division II schools or not. But then, linebacker was probably second, right? So, I mean, that's probably where the biggest problems have been coming from.
Yeah, and again, it's not like we had bad players. It's not like the guys couldn't do it. But it's when you have an opportunity to get better, you get better. And if you're not getting better, you're going backwards, because standing still in the NFL just doesn't cut it. So when it comes to John and Nolan and all the guys, Trent, all those guys in the front office and who understand personnel and who are looking at these guys every single day, they have their eyes on rosters around the league. They've looked at these guys coming out of school backwards and forwards. And if they say that this guy is a good player and he's one that we should go after if we can, then I'm all for it.
Hey, Rabes, as in life, football is about timing. At least part of it is about timing, right? And we're seeing this team get healthy and make moves while other teams in this division are struggling a little bit. When you look at Seattle and the moves that they're making and the guys who are getting healthy, does it kind of change your expectations for the season and the possibility of these guys competing for this division?
Well, I'm the eternal optimist, so I would have thought that we were going to compete regardless. I would have thought that, I'm fine with the roster that they have. But you're always impressed when these guys are busy during the year, making some moves, bolstering the defensive front. And I think one of the things that we've talked about, Mike coming in here and bringing his defensive philosophy and his ideas and his schemes in, and much of that roster that he was going to work with was already here, and they did bring in some free agents. But you don't really know until, even through training camp, starters don't play very much, until you get into the heat of battle for a number of games. Do you know, okay, we're deep enough here, or we could really use a little help there? I think that as long as we're making moves, I know that we're fighting like crazy. We're at the top of the division. I mean, what's not to like about that? So I think we've got all kinds of green grass ahead of us yet, and I'm excited. And this week is going to be a real test, especially for that defense, because this is a really productive Bills team.
It's been a pretty productive Seahawks offense, if an imbalanced one, but the offensive passing game has been able to take off. Gino leading the league in passing yards. They may not have DK. We don't know for sure. He's not going to practice today. Obviously, we'll get an update tomorrow. Rabes, let's assume DK isn't playing for the purposes of just this question. Who would you love to see get more snaps in that case?
Well, I feel like I can still give you about a half a dozen snaps. Maybe not all of them deep routes, but
you mean as a water boy, or what are you talking about?
No, just in the flat.
Oh,
handing out the hot meal after dinner. Yeah, after the game. Sure, that's if there's anybody that is strikingly similar, and nobody is similar to DK Metcalf in just physical stature and some of the same physical ability, Derek Young is a big, strong kid who can run. He's really good on special teams. Now, he doesn't get that many opportunities on offense, and when he is in there, oftentimes it's either, as a clear-out route or to block for a run. And frankly, Bobo in a lot of the same way. Bobo's on the field a lot when it comes to running the football, maybe not quite as much in the passing game. But I think either one of those guys, but for pure downfield, let's maybe throw it up and see what happens. I'd like to see Derek get a couple of shots if DK can't go. And then Bobo is really good kind of in those inside spaces, crossing routes, getting to the sidelines, going up over a smaller DB. So they've got some people there, and Laviska Shenault got a lot of speed too. So they've got guys who can do it. Whether they can be as productive, maybe not, but not many people are going to fill DK Metcalf's shoes.
Ribs, what would you say, like, over the years since Schneider has been here, he never sits still. I mean, I think that's one thing that, remember when they traded for Quandre Diggs around this time of the year a few years back? I mean, I feel like whenever there's something wrong, they don't just sit there on their hands. And, it feels like over the years that Schneider has always kind of delivered as far as, trying to address problems even when it's during the middle of the season. Yeah, and, as he talks about a lot during training camp, he's not looking at a 54-man roster. He's looking at, 69 players plus the guys that they have on the side that maybe they can call on, that if they don't make the final roster, then maybe they can make help in some way later on, be called in later on. There is that I think that's really important in this. Sorry, I got my
No, pay attention to Siri.
Sorry, yes, I'm turning right in case you didn't hear. But I love that about John, and he's on top of it, and that's why the Seahawks over the years, look at how many years, I don't even know the stat, but how many years they have led the way in wins, near the top of this division, near the top of the NFL in the last 10 years or so in total wins. So it's because they stayed on top of the personnel issues as well as just coaching up guys and winning football games. You know what I think we should do is change your Siri voice to my voice. And also I would add things like turn right here, dumbass, things like that. Maybe you need that.
Just a stern voice.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a wooded sort of, I'm trying to find my way out of an area that I've not been to very much. So. Yeah, you've only lived in Seattle for like 100 years, and you don't know your way around. I know. I'm actually in downtown Redmond. It shouldn't be that difficult, but I've gone around the same block twice.
Thankfully, you'll be able to find your way to Lumen Field pretty easily this Sunday. It's a home game. You've been there many times. He is the voice of the Seahawks. I hope so. Steve Raible. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. If I can't make it, start without me, all right?
Sounds good. Bye.
Hope to see you Sunday.
We know the Bills are 5-2. I could still hear.
You'll still be loved.
We know the Bills are 5-2, but that doesn't tell us the whole story of a team, of course. So let's find out more about the Hawks' opponent next.
Seattle is home to Swedish CyberKnife, a non-invasive and highly precise treatment for prostate cancer. Swedish CyberKnife is the only CyberKnife center in the Pacific Northwest. Compared with other radiation treatments, which can last 6 to 9 weeks, CyberKnife treatment is much shorter, typically 5 days or less. CyberKnife advanced robotic technology can track your slightest body movement, adjusting in real time to deliver radiation with extreme accuracy, sparing healthy tissue. The vast majority of patients experience minimal side effects and can continue normal activities during treatment. CyberKnife offers curative cancer treatment while minimizing side effects and disruption to a patient's life. The experienced CyberKnife team has helped advance the field with research, protocols, and published findings. Swedish CyberKnife treats patients from all over Washington state. If you, a friend, or family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment, and I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance, and I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had a million questions, and they walked us through every step of the process, and then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Do you wrestle with your CPAP machine every night? Tired of lugging it through the airport and on vacation? Hi, I'm Dr. Nick Kugler with the Washington Center for Sleep. We specialize in treating sleep apnea with CPAP alternatives. My patients have ditched the CPAP and get restful, healthy sleep every night. If you're tired of wearing a mask to bed, let us help you. Visit us in Seattle, Bellevue, or at wasleep.com. That's wasleep.com. Sleep better, feel better. That's the Washington Center for Sleep way.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. All right, guys, you looking for a fun night out? It's Mike Salk here to remind you that Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go, unwind, and have some fun and eat some great food. Make sure to check out 12 Moons. And then Vista Prime Steaks and Seafood has the amazing happy hour menu that starts at 4 p.m. And Falls Buffet, they're serving up all your favorites like the prime rib every day, the fresh pasta, made-to-order stir-fry, noodles, pizza, salad bar, dessert bar. They make their pies every day. All with breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. It is Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown, Snoqualmie Casino. Please game responsibly.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
You are listening to The Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, and Stacey Ross. He's a longtime NFL reporter. You can hear him on Sirius XM, 33rd Team, WGRZ in Buffalo. It's Vic Karuchi. Vic, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
We are so happy to have you. I'm actually very excited for this Sunday. Very intriguing things about both of these teams. I'm going to start with maybe to me the most interesting stat about Buffalo, and that's no interceptions for Josh Allen. Tell me about his season.
That's kind of a remarkable stat, and it's one of those stats that I don't know that necessarily jumps at you the way a touchdown pass total might, or a lot of interceptions, right? The fact that he has kind of, in some ways, quietly been this efficient is impressive. I think it speaks to a couple of things. One, an emphasis on his part to reduce and avoid giving the ball away. It was a problem for him last year. It's been kind of a problem through much of his career, the giveaways, and that includes fumbles. So a concerted effort to do that. The other thing, I think by design, this offense under Joe Brady in his first full year as offensive coordinator, he took over the job on an interim basis about halfway through last year, has been to incorporate balance make the running game important, and in terms of the passing game, not force as many throws downfield. Try to get those higher percentage plays in the passing game.
Hey, Vic, tell us about him as a runner. I see, 179 yards, and, he's a big dude. And I think if I'm a linebacker, I'm wondering, okay, no linebacker wants to get run over by a quarterback. I feel like Josh Allen could run you over, though.
Exactly, but I will say this: it's his superpower. There is no question. Josh Allen's ability to move, and almost a certainty that this team has in short yardage or in critical situations to move the sticks or fourth down, whatever it might be. His ability to run it, and we're not just talking about the tush push type plunges, even though they've done that and done that successfully. They don't use it the way the Eagles have. But Allen on the move is even more dangerous than Allen in the pocket. And in the pocket, he's pretty darn good. He's got a big arm, and it's been accurate at deep balls. But get him moving, and one of the signature things he does, which is just, and I'm sure you guys have all seen it, he'll just run right to the edge of the sideline and then kind of leave the ground and hurl a cross-body pass that ends up being a big play. How he does it is astounding, because the majority of quarterbacks who try that are going to get picked or certainly not complete it or go out of bounds before the ball leaves their hands. So these are the kinds of things that I think add to making him dangerous. And like you said, the power, he's like a moving tank. He's got a lot of body armor, big, thick guy, but athletic and faster than one would think a guy in his 240s with 6'5" height would be.
Hey, Amari Cooper, great addition. We hated to see it, but I'm happy for him getting out of Cleveland. How do you think he is going to help this offense? Allen, like you mentioned, done a great job taking care of the football. 18 snaps last week, I believe, Amari Cooper had. Got a touchdown. How do you think he opens up this offense?
Yeah, they desperately needed somebody of that caliber because before he got to Buffalo, they had, I would call it an okay receiving core. Keon Coleman, the second-round pick, and he got Pepsi Rookie Player of the Week, had a breakout game, this past week against the Titans. But I would tell you that by and large, no one, including Coleman, was getting much separation, and he's more of a 50-50 ball kind of player anyway, bigger target, as you know, and same way at Florida State. When you look at the receiving core that they had, they were missing the take it off the top guy. Now that they have Cooper, they have something very close to that. I'm not calling him the truest burner, but he runs great routes, and he has this ability to, I think, once he gets past that maybe that first level, just to explode into his route. And he's so intuitive and smart, 10-year veteran, a real quick study. So picking up this offense, even though he doesn't know the entire playbook, that first game last week, they threw him in there after 4 days of practice and extra work after practice with his position coaches. He kind of crammed for it and was effective, like you said, in those 18 or so snaps. And I see a guy who will, I think, continually make an impact. And here's the other thing. They got him for, right now, basically an 11-game rental, maybe more with the playoffs. But you're looking at a player that they need to see what he can do. There's no waiting to get him involved. So you're going to see, I think, more of him even this week than you saw against Tennessee.
Hey, Vic, the Bills are 20th against the run, 17th against the pass, and yet they're a top 10 team in points allowed, limiting opponents to under 20. And I saw that discrepancy, and I don't know a lot about the Bills' offense, or defense, excuse me. So I found myself going, well, are they really good in the red zone? Is it takeaways? Do they have a couple games skewing the average? Who better to ask? Tell me a bit about the Bills' ability to at least limit some of those points and then kind of where they're struggling defensively.
Sure. Well, you're targeting the right things. When you see that sort of discrepancy of points versus yards,
red zone is a big part of it. And yeah, they do a nice job of tightening up there. Their problem against the run in part comes from health or lack thereof. Matt Milano, one of the top linebackers in the league, has not been available to them, since a triceps injury before the season. And then you've got, basically a middle of the defense that is not big, mostly good penetrating guys like Ed Oliver, Dwayne Carter, the rookie. They make some impact, and yes, they can get involved in making good plays against the run if they hit those gaps. But by and large, this is not a power front. It is, and the defense as a whole, very much nickel-oriented, is built to deal with passing more than running. But I guess they're playing the odds that they're not seeing, say, Derrick Henry every week, but who ran all over him. You saw him on Sunday Night Football, but he does that to other teams. But then you look at other backs. Breece Hall, had a really nice game in that Jets game against them. A team that commits to running, and if they don't get too far behind, can definitely have success and create more opportunities like the Titans did in the first half of that game, even though they were way overmatched and spotted them 10 before giving up 34. A team that will stick to balance, if the Seahawks do that and commit to it, can set themselves up for, I think, more successful plays in the passing game.
He is Vic Karuchi, kind enough to join us for an opponent preview here. Vic, thank you so much, man. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Vic.
My pleasure.
Have a good one. All right, we are going to wrap up with a Seahawks reporter, John Boyle, joining us next. I promised Boyle I will no longer ask injury questions. So instead, I'm going to start with a question of what the Seahawks do if one of their stars can't go. That's next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
He is Mark Schlereth.
I thought it was a really big-time win. Atlanta, offensively, Atlanta's been scoring points. Kirk Cousins been playing great. They're a really good offensive football team. They've got some really good defenders as well. So to go in there and to be able to win on the road and hold them to 14 points, I thought that was a big-time performance by the Seahawks.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Right now at Les Schwab, it's the deal you've been waiting for. The Score More sales event. Save up to $160 instantly on a wide selection of 4 tires and 4 wheels. Plus, every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just one more way you'll get more from less. Stop by the store or find your tires at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
It's the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today or donate online at carsforkids.com. Remember, that's cars with a K. carsforkids.com. Tune in this Sunday as your Seattle Seahawks take on Buffalo. Kickoff at 1:05 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the Northwest's biggest and best casino.
This is Brock Hewitt. If you're retired or retiring soon and concerned about the future, call Tila Mortgage today to find out the benefits of a reverse mortgage. Tila's been locally owned and trusted right here in the Seattle Metro for over 25 years. Just ask yourself, do I settle for a retirement that just gets me by? I say no. Tila will see if you can retire more comfortably with a home equity conversion mortgage. They can help you refinance your current mortgage and convert a portion of your home's equity into a line of credit, providing benefits like no monthly mortgage payments or cash back to pay off bills, do home improvement projects, or build up a cash reserve for safety and peace of mind. Plus, you get to keep your home. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Looking for fine jewelry this fall? Good news! Seattle's favorite jeweler for more than 40 years now has 2 locations in the area. Come visit us in our beautiful new store with the biggest selection at South Center Square in Tukwila. Create your own engagement ring with the widest range of diamonds and gemstones and discover unique, fine jewelry designed by our in-house team. No matter your budget, our friendly team is here to help guide you in finding that perfect piece that speaks to you. Visit shaneco.com to find your closest store and hours. We can't wait to see you. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
You are listening to The Huddle. We just learned more about the Bills with Vic Karuchi. Let's learn more about the Seahawks with John Boyle, reporter for Seahawks.com. John, I've made it a rule for myself now not to ask you about injuries.
You can ask. I'm just not going to
won't
have
updates.
very much info.
So I'll do this instead.
Sure.
We know that DK isn't practicing today. We don't know whether or not he's going to go through a walkthrough tomorrow. So let's say this.
Yes.
And say he doesn't play.
Okay.
Who may get more snaps on Sunday?
You know, I think it probably, if you just look at sort of the rotations, I think Bobo is the guy that would get the most bump in playing time, but I think it probably would be a little bit everybody. You know, Laviska Shenault, who obviously already has a bigger role in special teams, he could play more. You've got Derek Young, again, a big special teams player who doesn't see a ton of offensive playing time. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think when you're talking targets, it's probably more going to JSN and Tyler Lockett and your tight ends and all that, and then probably Bobo playing time-wise. But you don't, I mean, you're not just going to replace DK Metcalf 1-for-1. He's such a unique player. It's going to kind of have to be everybody filling in.
Kobe Bryant is I love that he's back in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've been asking me about him.
Yeah, I know, and I felt like and we talked about it earlier, I felt like he kind of got left behind last year. He had a great rookie year. He's a great kid. He's super smart. I didn't realize that was his first start at safety. But it sounds like his stock is on the rise right now.
I mean, he's one of those players, you asked Mike McDonald about him, and you can tell that Mike really likes what Kobe brings. He likes the way he works in practice. It's kind of a classic. This guy's practiced really well. He's earned that chance to start. And, you know, he talks about the ball productivity a lot. He's a guy who's around the ball. He knocks the ball out. He had, I think it was 4 forced fumbles as a rookie.
He did, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, just really good player who's earned it. I mean, he was in a tough spot last year where he gets hurt and they draft Devin Witherspoon, and all of a sudden it was like he kind of fell out of the mix. This move to safety, we talked to him this week about it. Like he didn't really embrace it at first because, like, hey, this is my position, but it's working out for him right now. And I think he's done enough that even when they get healthy, I think you're going to find ways to get him on the field.
Big move. Ernest Jones is over here. He used to give me nightmares when he was with the Rams, so it's nice to have him on this side. What are they gaining when they bring over Ernest, and how much should we expect him to play? Is he starting?
I mean, it sounds like they're expecting him to play. I mean, generally that position is kind of an every down guy.
Right.
Maybe if he needs a little time to get fully up to speed. I mean, physically he's fine. He's been playing. It's not like bringing a guy off the street who's got to get in shape, but it's just, does he learn everything? Now it'll help that what they ran in Tennessee is a lot like what they're doing in Seattle, so I think he'll get up to speed quickly. But yeah, I mean, Mike made it sound like he's going to play and kind of be the guy out there right away.
Dotson's their green dot, right?
Yeah, and Mike McDonald said they're going to move Dotson to weak side linebacker, but he'll still be the green dot. So maybe that'll help the transition a little bit for Jones. But yeah, I mean, you hear Mike McDonald talk about it, just kind of all the things you want a linebacker to be. He covers well, he's physical, he stops the run, he can blitz. I mean, just really good all-around middle linebacker.
Michael Jarrell, amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I was looking at the 20-yard run that K9 had where both him and
right behind those two rookies.
yeah, right behind the two rookies, man. And he got his guy turned there, and it was a beautiful thing. And it just seemed like it was kind of easy for him. And, you know, with a little bit more time to think, do you think that it'll be better for him, or how's he responded?
Really well. I mean, people talked to him after the game. I just talked to him earlier today, and I think, you know, it was a really cool moment for him and a big deal, but it also wasn't too big for him. Like, he was ready for it. He played well, but also he expects that he's going to get better. I mean, that wasn't, you know, the finished product in his mind. That was just sort of him getting started, and now he'll be a little, you know, if he is the guy this week, which seems like he might be, then, you know, he'll be calmer, he'll be a little more ready for it. But yeah, I mean, it's such a cool story to go straight from D2 to this. And I think he said the biggest crowd he played in college was like 5,000 people. Their home stadium's like 1,500 people or something. And this week he's going to run out the tunnel with 68,000.
Do you guys remember the biggest crowds you played in college? Or maybe in the pros too?
My rookie or freshman year at Stanford, we played at Ohio State. I think it was like 101 or something like that.
Bump, you said yours was Auburn.
Like 95 to 100,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's basically your guys' biggest crowds you played in front of is Lumen Field full capacity plus like a good Mariners game.
Yeah. Some of these college stadiums.
Well, I was looking at his film real quick, Jarrell, and it looks like a high school. And then he was just like tossing guys like a bouncer out of you know, throwing guys out of the bar. I mean, he was just abusing people. So
it's so much easier to find talent now, you know, because back I feel like with technology or whatnot, like word gets around quickly, you get to see the film, so it's nice to see guys like Michael do his thing. Yeah. The Bills do not turn the football over. Yeah. Josh Allen's done a great job taking care of the rock.
Which is wild, because that was always the knock on him.
That was his thing,
this year,
right? He's going to turn the ball over. And then this week, Stacey asked me if I think this week could be the week that he turns the ball over. And I'm optimistic because of what I'm seeing on the D-line and the addition at linebacker. When you look at this box, do you what steps have you seen taken performance-wise? Because guys are getting healthy, guys are coming in. It's starting to take form.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's just getting back to full strength. They've been, until this past game, they've been so beat up on the front seven. Now, unfortunately, the injuries went to the secondary instead, but with that D-line is really deep when they're at full strength. And, you know, other than Chenna, who unfortunately is out for a while, they got pretty much everybody back. And I think that's just a really good group. And especially in a game like the Atlanta game, if you get ahead and you make teams throw and you got all these different pass rushers, that's where you see the turnovers start to happen. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think if the Seahawks defense can get going, they'd love to end that streak for Josh Allen. You know, they did it to Jared Goff last year. If you remember, he had that long interception-free streak, and Trey Brown had the pick six. So, hey, maybe snap another one.
Normally, I throw you guys a question and then have all three of you answer it, and we do it in the last minute to kind of. It's selfish. It's for me to get to time and kind of find a way to wrap up. I thought though we could spend a little more time on it because all of your guys' answers are probably worth exploring. Is that cool? We'll spend a little more time with each person's answer.
I'd like to know the question before I agree with that.
It's very easy. It's very, very.
It's about injuries, John.
It's very, very easy.
All right.
And John, you even get to go first, and Bump unfortunately is last. But it was a question Bump had during 4-down territory. Seahawks win if. So we'll take a minute on each one. Feel free to chime in too, either of you guys, if you want to add to John's answer, and then you'll have your own.
I mean, that's so cliche, but just the turnovers. We saw this team on a losing streak give the ball over a bunch. The couple games they haven't turned the ball over this year, they've won, and I think they're a talented enough team. They can beat anybody if they play clean football. So just win that turnover battle again.
It really is wild to know that they went weeks 2 through 6 with 1.
Yeah.
And it was a fumble recovery.
Then you get 3 in a row, and they always say it comes in bunches. Which, I don't know if I believe that or not. But Boye had an amazing,
he did.
Which I won't even try to paraphrase because he said it so well. But yeah, to me, here's what I would like to see. I would like to see Ernest Jones step up and smash a guard. That's what I think. That's what they need.
Please.
And look, Dodson. He can fly around. Like I said, I like him to take on blocks too and not get pushed out. But, you know, if you have at least one guy doing it on the inside, I feel like that's – and a lot of times I didn't think it was so much because they were, you know, weaker players or whatever. It was more about being unsure. And I feel like if you see that he's certain that this is what my gap is, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to do more than just stand in the gap. I'm going to fight for it. To me, I feel like we're going to be, even if they lose, I feel like in the long run, it's going to really help this defense.
I'm going to read that as Seahawks win, and maybe more than just this weekend, if the Ernest Jones trade pays off.
I just love that the former linebacker goes smash into a guard as his key. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that sometimes, right? So, yeah, just remember the smash the guard part.
You know what's crazy? Sorry.
Oh, no.
You know what's crazy about that is when I watch film on Ernest, I compare him to Baker. I go, Ernest has to be bigger than Baker, right? Because he just plays bigger. And you look at him, roster-wise, same height, off about by 1 or 2 pounds. It's crazy how
that works.
The style of play is just
It's a mentality and a style, yeah. Yeah, you know, because I was looking at like Devante David and Devin White back when Devin White didn't lose his mind. I don't know what's wrong with him because he's only 25, 26 years old. Yeah. But him and Devante David, those guys, like you said, 6'1", 230, their mentality was smash guards.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great Bucs defense, too.
Yeah, it was.
Seahawks win if?
Win if the Hawks continue to spread the ball around. With DK being out, you're going to lose, there's 7-8 targets you have to account for. Noah Fant has quietly had himself a nice little season. Yeah. I don't think people talk about Noah Fant enough. 4 or 5 games in a row where he's perfect when it comes to targets and receptions. So just spread the love, you know. But you got to find a way to replace a 35 to 40-yard reception that you get every game from DK, which kind of shifts field position a bit. But, yeah, spread the love.
Tune in to the Seahawks pregame show for this Week 8 matchup against the Buffalo Bills at home. Bump hosting that one. Obviously, Wyman color commentary for play-by-play. You can hear Bump in the postgame show after. And, of course, don't forget to check in with Seahawks.com to read the latest from John Boyle. Thank you again to Boye Mafe, Christian Haynes, Steve Raible, Vic Karuchi, and John for joining us today.
Boyle!
This has been The Huddle.
It's Hall down the far sideline. He's going to score. Derek Hall on the sack by Boye Mafe.
After a win on the road, the division-leading Seahawks are ready for action.
Jackson Smith and Jigma now makes the catch, stops, going to throw deep down the far side. DK, what a catch!
This Sunday, the Hawks host Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at Lumen Field.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III.
Kickoff 105. Pre-game coverage starting at 10 on your home for the Hawks, Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.